ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯁꯣꯅꯤꯌꯥ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ
ꯄ꯭ꯔꯚꯥꯅꯟꯗꯅ ꯇꯔꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯣꯛꯆꯔꯤ꯫
ꯂꯦꯞꯄ ꯂꯩꯇꯅ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯑꯣꯟꯂꯥꯏꯟ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ ꯑꯁꯤꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯏꯅꯥꯎꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯀꯣ-ꯀꯔꯤꯀꯨꯂꯔ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚꯤꯇꯤꯁ ꯈꯔ ꯁꯤꯟꯗꯕ ꯌꯥꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯈꯟꯖꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯇꯦꯂꯦꯟꯠꯁꯤꯡꯁꯨ ꯎꯠꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯚꯔꯆꯨꯑꯦꯜꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯠꯊꯥꯡꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯝ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯤ꯫
ꯕ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯠ ꯐꯥꯎꯟꯗꯦꯁꯟ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯈꯛꯅ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯈꯟꯖꯗꯨꯅ ꯊꯦꯡꯈꯥꯡ ꯀꯌꯥꯗ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨ ꯐꯒꯠꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯂꯦꯞꯇꯅ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯖꯔꯤ꯫
ꯄꯦꯟꯗꯦꯃꯤꯛ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯐꯤꯖꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚꯤꯇꯤ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯇꯧꯗ꯭ꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯣꯟꯂꯥꯏꯟꯗ ꯃꯣꯅꯤꯇꯔ ꯇꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚꯤꯇꯤ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯃꯔꯨꯝ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯈꯤ, ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯔꯛꯈꯤꯅꯤ꯫ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯖꯒꯣꯏ ꯆꯥꯡꯗꯝꯅꯕ, ꯔꯥꯏꯝꯁ ꯆꯥꯡꯗꯝꯅꯕ, ꯁꯩꯔꯦꯡ ꯆꯥꯡꯗꯝꯅꯕ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯎꯠꯆꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ꯫
ꯍꯟꯗꯛꯇꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯆꯥꯡꯗꯝꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯖꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤ꯫ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯣꯟꯂꯥꯏꯟꯒꯤ ꯖꯨꯝ ꯑꯦꯄ꯭ꯂꯤꯀꯦꯁꯟꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯠꯊꯥꯡꯗ ꯇꯧꯖꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ꯫ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯗꯤꯖꯤꯇꯦꯜꯒꯤ ꯂꯝꯖꯦꯜꯗ ꯌꯥꯡꯅ ꯆꯦꯟꯈꯠꯂꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯃꯥꯂꯦꯝ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯁꯛ ꯇꯥꯛꯄ ꯉꯝꯖꯅꯕ, ꯀꯦꯃꯦꯔꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯩꯖꯕ ꯇꯦꯂꯦꯟꯠ ꯎꯠꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕ
ꯕ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯠ ꯐꯥꯎꯟꯗꯦꯁꯟꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯠꯐꯣꯔꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯄꯤꯖꯔꯤ꯫ ꯊꯧꯔꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯃꯤꯠꯌꯦꯡ ꯇꯥꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯅꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯌꯨꯇ꯭ꯌꯨꯕꯇ ꯂꯥꯏꯚ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯃꯤꯡ ꯇꯧꯖꯒꯅꯤ꯫ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯏꯅꯥꯎꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯀꯨꯝꯍꯩ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯃꯤꯠꯌꯦꯡ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯅꯕ ꯅꯤꯡꯁꯤꯡꯖꯔꯤ꯫
program koi school da budi dum regularly sei khudingi tawi adu ko ju pandemic sina maram oiraga ahan boina koi virtual khuthang da ko koi gi wari liba changdam na gi thorum asi pangthok pani aduna koi school gi han da gi sanarak pa haibe tare koi bright foundation school gi akoi di koi first kai da wa pi school da tamiba satra singjina pai gi maru oina lojai maram di fana awawa matam oiraga su ji pandemic matam oiraga su अखोई हानगी स्कूल की चना पथाप कोई रिसर्टेशन कंपटीशन वगैरह स्टोरी टेलिंग कंपटीशन वगैरह मतम चाना कोई अंगांग जिंग सोइबे यादे हैना कोई दी पांगथोकपगी कोई लाइबा परिंग सिदा कोई लापना ngasi di कोई स्टोरी टेलिंग कंपटीशन हाइबदी वारी लीबा चांगदमनबगी थोय हेन को ngasi अमु यौरे सी मथकता मखा तार कोई ngasi gi कोई पांथोखदोरिबा वारी लीबा चांगदमनबगी थोरम असिदा कैटेगरी अहुम थोना खाइदोकसै अहानबा कैटेगरी से कोई कैटेगरी ए एन हाइजरगे ए अथंग कैटेगरी बी एंड नेक्स्ट द लास्ट वन इज कैटेगरी सी अहानबगी कैटेगरी सी कोई क्लास 1 दैना क्लास 3 बोकना कोई कंपोज होगनी को अखोगी मनुंग चनगनी क्लास 1 to क्लास 3 क्लास 1A क्लास 1B क्लास 2A class 2B and class 3 sina koi category 1 da koi yaugani category 1 sida koi ngasi gi koi athoi hen pangna sida koi yingjin bi gadori ba just haiba tare athoi hen gi koi gi mark bi gadori ba just sing ating babing to lokthok charake koi just humni ahan bada ikai khumna jara sar sanjoy sar romeo amadi miss sonia sina ahan ba category haibadi class 1 dagina class 3 bogi अथोयन सांगदमनजगी कोई जस्ट ओबिगनी अनिसुब कैटेगरी हाइबदी कैटेगरी बी कैटेगरी बी की ओइनदी क्लास class 4 to class 4 daina class 6 tona amuk category B sida yawgani ko class 4 class 5 and class 6 sini aduga category B gi kogi ikai kumnaraba just obigada sing adudi ahanbada sar sanayama ani subada madam nonibala ahum subada sar haridas hariba just ahum asina category B haibadi class 4 dagina class 6 faugi just obigani adu aroiba haibitare category C category C is the kogi no tore class category C the yauri basi class 7 dagina 9 bu oiduni ko class 7 8 and 9 sida kogi category C sida just obigada ba atu hen changdan basigi kogi kanana mark pibi gida ba haitare just se mami lokthok charake ahan bada madam noni wala ani subada madam sarju ahum subada sar krishna chandrana ngasigi atu hen changdan basigi category C gi oina just oibigani aduga makha ta basidi ai kogi ngasigi eno host eno oibiriba Miss Rimada ai sinajari.
Thank you, sir. Ahamba maktada mayam pumna makku taram ocheri program sigi makha chatharako oina class 1A gi participant singi maming amta lathok charake ahamba oina thokchom sanjana janu ani shubada lanjenbi okram ahum subada lanjenbi naurem hojik thokchom sanjana janu degi kaujeng amasung kakching hariba wari asi lanthokpinaba kokthokjage sanjana mathangda lanjenbi okram sem saraga lebiro
ahamba maktada Bright Foundation School gi oda singbu chhatra singbu aina khumjai aigi name sanjana kawi I class 1 tamle roll number 4 section A aina sigi jagadriba wari mami kaujeng amasung kakchen laubi asi aigi wari thaina mama ngaida kaujeng amaka kakchen kharaga tekol amada lairambuye kaujeng adigi yam talami thabak su suding namde mahati numit chupama isak saktuna jagoi saduna lektholami adubu kakchen sing adudi thabak su bano kayamna kalami makoina numit kudingi makonda machinja kusinduna thamlami makoina asumna makonda machinja paisinduna thambasida kaujengduna lagnarami matam khara haukraba matungda kalen tha loithirami ningtham tha mu yawarami matam asidadi kaujengi chanaba machinja leiramde mahakna kakjengi mayumda chattuna chanaba machinja pibiu haiduna nirami kau thawjal hairaba kakjeng sing aduna kaujengbu tarana oglamni chanaba machinja supirami thawdok asidagi mathanggi kalen thadagi kaujengna thabak suba yamna kanba jiba haiba adu oithi wari asidagi aikoina thabak suba nomba kanba oirasi uja singbu chhatra singbu aina mukhana khumjari aiwa
message samaga loinana amna phajaraba wari amakhak taminakhre mathanga sidi lanjenbi okram dagi laigi pena hariba wari asimu taminarasi mathangda lanjenbi naurem sem saraga lebiro
hanamagtada oja singbu ikokwana khumjari amadi pumna makusu taramna ocheri aigi ming lanjenbi okram ai class 1A roll number 3M ni aina ngasi jagadoi wari si maming di laigi pena wari asibu ibiba atom hoi ima ai chakum kanaba cheng lai brengi ima ujikoina di cheng sel lekje aduna ai ma muidan da hamuge lukoina ma ki ma ma gi dalak lam tan janna rudana ma ki ma ma do lambi de thinaram lukoina an harau jaraduna mama yunde ma do na na lehu ꯆꯦꯡ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯆꯦꯡ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯕꯤꯌꯨꯕ ꯀꯗꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯆꯦꯡꯅꯣꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯆꯥꯅꯤꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯉꯩꯁꯤꯗ ꯀꯅꯥꯅ ꯍꯪꯉꯨꯔꯣ ꯂꯨꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇ ꯍꯪꯉꯨꯔꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯃꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯕꯤꯔꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯗ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯈꯨꯔꯥ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯏꯃꯥꯗꯣ ꯅꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯏ ꯆꯦꯡꯁꯨ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯗꯦ ꯌꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯌꯨꯕ ꯏꯕꯨꯡꯉꯣ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯃꯤꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯁꯦꯟ ꯄꯤꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯐꯠꯇꯦꯀꯣ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯐꯠꯇꯦ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯁꯦ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯔꯨꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯀꯅꯥꯗꯅ ꯍꯪꯉꯨꯔꯣ ꯎꯄꯥꯏ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯕꯗ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯆꯥꯗꯣ ꯈꯣꯡ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯐꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯐꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯈꯪꯍꯧꯗꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯦꯝꯕꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯦꯝꯕꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯅꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯀꯞꯂꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯦ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯦꯝꯕꯤ ꯅꯆꯥꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯏꯃꯥꯗꯣ ꯅꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯥꯛ ꯊꯣꯡꯅꯕ ꯆꯦꯡ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯗꯦ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯃꯤꯄꯨꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇ ꯍꯪꯉꯨꯔꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯃꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯕꯤꯔꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯏꯃꯥꯅ ꯀꯣꯛꯍꯜꯂꯒꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯁꯦ ꯄꯥꯏꯁꯜꯂꯨ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯁꯦ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯈꯣꯡꯕꯗ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜꯃꯩ ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜꯃꯩꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯥꯏꯊꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯌꯨꯀꯣ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯂꯒ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯦꯝꯕꯤꯗꯨ ꯃꯥꯡꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯨꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯗꯨ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯦꯝꯕꯤꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯝꯕ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯇꯪ ꯈꯣꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯒꯦꯗ ꯂꯤꯔꯩꯔꯥ ꯂꯤꯔꯩꯔꯥ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜꯃꯩꯅꯤꯅ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯦꯝꯕꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯕꯗꯣ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯦ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯏꯃꯥꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯒ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯄꯥꯎꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤ ꯇꯝꯃꯨꯔꯒꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯗ ꯄꯥꯎꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯝꯃꯨꯔꯒ ꯀꯩꯊꯦꯜꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯆꯦꯡ ꯍꯋꯥꯏ ꯂꯩꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯕꯨꯛ ꯐꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯃꯥꯝꯃꯗꯨ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯥꯝꯃꯗꯨ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯗꯣ ꯇꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯣꯡꯕꯤꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯊꯤꯕ ꯊꯣꯛꯀꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯗꯅ ꯆꯠꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯂꯨꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯛꯄ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯇꯪꯕꯨ ꯈꯣꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯤꯗ ꯂꯤꯔꯩꯔꯥ ꯂꯤꯔꯩꯔꯥ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜꯃꯩꯅꯤꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯏꯗꯣꯔꯦ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯟ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯟ ꯈꯣꯡꯍꯧꯔꯒ ꯂꯤꯔꯩꯔꯥ 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 ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜꯃꯩꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯈꯠꯂꯛꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯝꯃꯗꯤ ꯁꯨꯝ ꯄꯤꯛꯁꯜꯂꯛꯂꯤ ꯃꯁꯛꯄꯨ ꯎꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯂꯨꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯝꯃꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯀꯗꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯩꯈ꯭ꯔꯕꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯊꯤꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜꯃꯩ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅꯤꯗꯅ ꯃꯥꯝꯃꯗꯣ ꯁꯣꯏꯗꯅ ꯄꯤꯛꯁꯜꯂꯝꯃꯅꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯗꯤ ꯎꯄꯥꯏ ꯂꯩ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯇꯧꯖꯕꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯐꯪꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯇꯧꯖꯕꯅ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯐꯪꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯨꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯈꯧꯖꯥꯎ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯜꯃꯩꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯞꯆꯤꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯔꯦꯡꯕꯥꯡꯗ ꯊꯥꯡꯒꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯄꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯣꯔꯦꯜꯗꯤ ꯀꯔꯥꯝ ꯆꯥꯎꯕꯅ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯃꯥꯡꯍꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯀꯔꯥꯝ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯄꯨ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ
ꯂꯟꯆꯦꯟꯕꯤ ꯑꯣꯀ꯭ꯔꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯔꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯀꯔꯥꯝ ꯆꯥꯎꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯀꯔꯤꯝꯇ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯇꯦ ꯏꯁꯥ ꯏꯇꯣꯝꯇ ꯃꯥꯡꯉꯒ ꯇꯣꯛꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯁꯦꯖꯁꯦ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯨꯕꯗ ꯂꯟꯆꯦꯟꯕꯤ ꯅꯥꯎꯔꯦꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯚꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯃꯨꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯁꯤ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯏꯀꯣꯛꯅꯣꯝꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯃꯤꯡ ꯂꯟꯆꯦꯟꯕꯤ ꯀꯧꯏ ꯑꯩ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 1Aꯗ ꯇꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯖꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯏꯕꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯅꯣꯡꯃ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯁꯨꯕ ꯆꯠꯄꯗ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯗꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯅꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯕꯣꯛ ꯍꯤꯗꯥꯛ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯍꯦꯛꯂꯛꯎ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯤꯗꯥꯛꯇꯨ ꯊꯤꯕꯗ ꯍꯤꯗꯥꯛꯇꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯆꯐꯨ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯤꯗꯥꯛꯇꯨꯒ ꯆꯐꯨꯗꯨꯒ ꯄꯨꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯤꯗꯥꯛꯇꯣ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯗ ꯄꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯆꯐꯨꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯆꯠꯄꯗ ꯆꯐꯨꯗꯨꯗ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯁꯅꯥꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯞꯆꯟꯕꯗ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯎꯍꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯪꯖꯅꯗꯕ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯏꯕꯣꯛꯅ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯀꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯦ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯦ ꯏꯕꯦꯝꯃ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯏꯕꯣꯛ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯁꯨꯕ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯗꯤ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯔꯦꯅ ꯍꯪꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯕꯣꯛ ꯑꯩꯗꯤ ꯂꯝ ꯑꯊꯥꯞꯄꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯨꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯡꯒꯁꯤ ꯆꯤꯛꯄꯒ ꯅꯥꯕꯒ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯇꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯈꯨꯝꯃꯛꯑꯦ ꯏꯕꯣ ꯍꯤꯗꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯍꯜꯂꯛꯀꯦ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯤꯗꯥꯛꯇꯨ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯁꯦ ꯊꯛꯆꯜꯂꯨ ꯏꯕꯣ mana thaaga hanubidudi sigare mana hidakku loi pu mana ngasai sanado loi puraga laklamme adudagidi mi asiba lawba lakpa laido muk laklamni chalasi la o ngasai hanubiduna aidi chatloi aidi siba sunatana aidi mina huthaga sibani aidi chatloi na hairami ai chahi loiraga tiba sunatana hairami Asagi laiduna nangi mitki ubagi pangaldo aina pukhrage nang yaningbra na hanglami ngasagi hanubiduna khumaklami ai di mitki ubagi saktiro nang pukro hairami adudagidi ngasagi laiduna pukandidi mai mamito uramde adudagidi ngasagi laiduna pukraka mai mamito uramdada mase maraga chatlami mana umanakta chatlakandadi upududa sana amatta lairamde adudagidi mana maraga sum chatpada lairaba chaphu adudi lairamni chaphu adudi lairami se mana aibu hatomuga aduga mana aigi chana miyambu lawbra malita hai masu maraga chatla lairamni adudagidi ngasai maibuduna hairami ibo kimti kananta laitabani na akhoi na puloi bide yadrena hairami adudagidi hoi hai mai nupinge tu aisu khatai yungge yang kandadi ibo kwa maraga chatlang lairame sai mai punge sibagi hidak thaaga maraga chatla lairami sibona duga ibo hakjang kharabona hanglami adudagidi masai ronju khumaklami hakjanggi anaba chidi loina phare mikhida ama tobu phangdrena hairami mit unaba hida amata semo adudagidi ngasai maibaduna semake nongma maibana hida thinba chatpada hanubiduna sanado uda nutige habadu horami nongmadi maibasina khalami ai sana mayam aba lawyanaba ai hida si khidi khatang semgida nongmadi hanubidu mit phare adudagidi magi upuda sana amata lairamdre adudagidi ngasagi maibaduna amuk ibo nangi mito pharaba na haire adudagidi ngasagi maibadugi manakta hanubiduna haira ami ibo kimiti amata phadine hanagi dumaina dum tawrine na hairami adudagidi ngasagi maibadu chunga asibu mit phadina adudagidi ngasagi laikai minazu ibo nangi mito pharabo phadri ibo kimicha haire adudagidi ngasai adudagidi maming jalamba maibudo sum jalakidre adudagidi maming jalamba maibudo sum maming jalakidradana mana nongma maibuduna yenglamni ibok simit pharaga na yenglamni adudagidi ibok to thabak suraga nomaga leiramni mase ngai mit udia hairaga thabak suraga nomaga leirami sibona adudagidi ngasai mit udia hairaga thabak suraga noma leibagi mana ining thau wakat yadra haiduna ining thau manakta chatlami ining thau aina hanbi ama layeng ure aduga mito phade haijanaraga aise awa phamda tahali masu awa phamda amukta tahanbiu haire adudagi di ngasagi hanbido ko khate akhoi phamise ubra ibok na hangami adudagi di ui aduga kadigi uda hairiba aina upuda sana tunjalaga thambadi amatta layamde adudagidi ngasai maibu som ko khate iboki sana hurande huba jiba tawrakandi hurali na haidore moi ani di ngasai ning thokina phajangkhre hanbidu bi nuare khana pale wari asigi morendi laksin leibana jai thank you
yam phajaba wari ama koi lanjenbi nauremdagi takhre koi ibengi lawsingna ko ibengi lawsingna magi manguraba lanthum mayamdo mu hanjanbagi wari ama ko mathangdi akoi class 1B gi ming kokthorake koi narengbam devrani devi mana ligdaba wari na yongna tan yenba ek magi loibaga matungda sem sadar laigadabadi taibangan bi taira nu pasnamna ko magi wari na sanagi mayen haiba ꯁꯤ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯂꯣꯏꯕꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯔꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯅꯥꯔꯦꯡꯕꯝ ꯗꯦꯕꯔꯥꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯁꯤ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯑꯣ
ꯑꯩ ꯍꯪꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯕ꯭ꯔꯣ
ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯧꯔꯣ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯄꯨꯡꯅꯨꯡꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯗꯦꯕꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯀꯧꯏ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯅ 1 ꯔꯣꯅ 2 ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯅꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯌꯣꯡꯅ ꯇꯟ ꯌꯦꯟꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯍꯪꯗꯣꯡ ꯑꯅꯤꯈꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯑꯉꯧꯕꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯅ ꯎꯈꯣꯡ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯔꯤꯉꯩꯗ ꯑꯍꯟ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯇꯟ ꯃꯌꯨꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯄꯨꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯧꯗꯨ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯖꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯆꯥꯎ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯇꯟ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯃꯅꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯄꯥꯝꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯟꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯧꯗꯨ ꯌꯦꯡꯂꯤꯕ ꯎꯊꯛꯇꯒꯤ ꯌꯣꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯟ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯆꯥꯅꯤꯡꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯇꯟ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯎꯄꯥꯏ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯥꯗꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯎꯊꯛꯇꯒꯤ ꯌꯣꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯎꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯨꯝꯊꯔꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯇꯟ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯅꯕꯥꯅꯤꯅ ꯌꯦꯟꯅꯕ ꯍꯩꯔꯔꯣꯏ ꯑꯩ ꯌꯦꯟꯅꯕꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯍꯪꯗꯣꯛꯅꯤꯅꯁꯨ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯐꯂꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯇꯟ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯆꯦꯠ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯊꯣꯛꯅ ꯁꯦꯒꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯥꯀꯟꯗ ꯍꯥꯞꯄꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯐꯂꯥꯗꯨ ꯊꯥꯡꯒꯠꯂꯒ ꯌꯦꯡꯕꯗ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯂꯨꯝꯃꯝꯃꯦ ꯑꯂꯨꯝꯕ ꯁꯔꯨꯛꯇꯨ ꯑꯌꯥꯝꯕ ꯁꯔꯨꯛꯇꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯆꯥꯊꯣꯛꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯆꯥꯊꯣꯛꯄꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯣꯟꯅ ꯊꯪꯗꯗꯤ ꯇꯟ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯆꯦꯠ ꯑꯃꯐꯥꯎ ꯂꯦꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯌꯣꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯈꯪꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯌꯣꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯅꯦ ꯆꯤꯡꯊꯧꯋꯥ ꯁꯥꯗꯅ ꯍꯪꯗꯣꯡ ꯑꯄꯪꯕ ꯁꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯇꯤ ꯆꯠꯈꯔꯦ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯇꯥꯛꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯔꯥꯝ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯥꯅꯤꯡꯉꯕꯗꯤ ꯇꯦꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯇꯣꯛꯏ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯦ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯗꯦꯕꯔꯥꯅꯤꯅ ꯄꯨꯡꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ
ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯦꯀꯣ ꯗꯦꯕꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯗꯦꯕꯤꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯥꯏꯅꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯠꯂꯕ ꯌꯣꯡꯅ ꯇꯟ ꯌꯦꯟꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯃ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯂꯤꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇꯥꯏꯕꯪꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤ ꯇꯦꯔꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁ꯭ꯅꯥꯝꯅ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯂꯤꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯀꯧꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥ ꯂꯩꯒꯗꯕꯅ ꯖꯌꯥꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯁꯅꯁꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯁꯅꯁꯝꯅ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇꯥꯏꯕꯪꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯔꯣ ꯔꯦꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯣ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯄꯨ ꯏꯀꯣꯛꯂꯣꯟꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯇꯥꯏꯕꯪꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤ ꯇꯦꯔꯥꯅꯨ ꯈꯣꯏꯁꯅꯥꯝ ꯀꯧꯖꯩ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 1 ꯕꯤ ꯇꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯟ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯔꯛꯂꯒꯦ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ inda angang amaga haiba indaba angang amaga leirami makhoi mani adugi oja amakak leirami oja aduda makhoi mani na diki larik tamba chatli nomadi larik tamba chatpada makhoi larik tamba loiraklaba kanda oja aduna angang ani da sunah angang ani nakhoi mani da oja na nasigi Mairen maru among igani Mairen maru asi higyo kaga hatkadabani Mairen maru asina haraba matam padagdaba matam macam-macam yang palakani manung da sanayaw ba sanangi Mairen maru palakani aduna masige Mairen maru asi hoy yung higyo kaga hatkadabani harga memang adu dahan kre Halaglang pamatuk, hai bindat angang di, hai rin pamatuk, hajin kre, hai bindat angang di. As, ay pwede mo rin tangin relatang nila, hai ka lang chukre. Kan, malaga, nakanina, tarik ng malapadak, at imay kita, kado na magpintas sumani. Angang ani, napimani, ito, sa daba, ay nakabada, ay nadami, ang ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯊꯥꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯗꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯑꯩꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯊꯥꯗꯦ ꯇꯞꯅ ꯇꯞꯅ ꯈꯨꯝꯃꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯗꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯊꯤꯅ ꯅꯪ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯌꯧꯕꯒ ꯊꯥꯖꯤꯟꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯊꯥꯖꯤꯟꯗꯕ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯌꯧꯕꯒ ꯊꯥꯖꯤꯟꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯉꯥꯡꯉꯛꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯂꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯗꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯤꯔꯒ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗ ꯇꯥꯔꯝꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯨꯡꯀꯠꯂꯒ ꯊꯥꯖꯤꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯈꯔꯅꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯄꯥꯟꯅꯔꯛꯏ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯥꯜꯂꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯄꯥꯜꯂꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯄꯥꯜꯂꯛꯂꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯦꯛꯑꯒ ꯄꯨꯔꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯦꯛꯑꯒ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯗꯨꯗ ꯄꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯈꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯌꯦꯡꯕꯗ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯗꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜꯁꯤ ꯄꯤꯛꯄꯅꯤꯅ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯈꯛ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜꯗꯣ ꯆꯥꯎꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯃꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯕꯥꯅꯤ ꯈꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯣꯡꯉꯥꯜꯂꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯗꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯍꯦꯛꯑꯒ ꯈꯨꯠꯅ ꯄꯥꯏꯕ ꯉꯝꯗꯗꯅ ꯃꯀꯣꯛꯇ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯨꯡꯀꯠꯂ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯑꯩꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯑꯦꯅ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯗꯥꯏ ꯂꯧꯊꯒꯦ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯉꯩꯗ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯄꯨꯞ ꯂꯥꯎꯅ ꯇꯥꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯀꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯕꯁꯨ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯐꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯁꯅꯥꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯄꯠꯂꯒ ꯄꯨꯝꯃꯒ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯩꯁꯨ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯜꯂꯝꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯜꯂꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯟꯈꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯤ ꯐꯕꯗ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯗꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯤ ꯐꯠꯇꯕꯗ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯊꯦꯡꯀ꯭ꯌꯨ
ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯥꯏꯕꯪꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤ ꯇꯔꯥꯅꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯔꯦꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯪꯖꯤꯟꯕ ꯌꯥꯕ ꯈꯔ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯏꯄꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯟꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯛ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯏꯄꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯏꯌꯥꯝꯕ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯐꯕꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯕꯗ ꯏꯟꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯧꯗ ꯌꯥꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯊꯧ ꯑꯃꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 1Bꯒꯤ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯖꯌꯥꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯁꯅꯁꯝꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯁꯟꯖꯦ ꯅꯍꯥ ꯀꯩꯅ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯗꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯂꯥꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯅꯕ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯣ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯖꯕ ꯃꯔꯨꯞ ꯃꯄꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨ ꯅꯣꯡꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯖꯌꯥꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯀꯧꯏ ꯑꯩ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 1Bꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯔꯣꯜ ꯅꯝꯕꯔ 37 ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯁꯟꯖꯦ ꯅꯍꯥ ꯀꯩꯅ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯑꯩ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯃꯊꯥꯏ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯆꯤꯡꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯄꯤꯛꯂꯕ ꯈꯨꯡꯒꯪ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯈꯨꯡꯒꯪꯗꯨꯗ ꯁꯟꯁꯦꯝꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯁꯟꯖꯦ ꯅꯍꯥ ꯀꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯁꯟꯖꯦ ꯅꯍꯥꯅ ꯆꯤꯡꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯝꯄꯥꯛ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯁꯟꯁꯦꯜꯂꯤꯉꯩꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯂꯛꯅꯒꯦꯗ ꯁꯟꯖꯦ ꯅꯍꯥꯅ कन्ना लाऊंगी लेकाई सा कई लाए आई बोलता कंदियो संसिंग जो लोना सा की जोरे आई कंदियो आई बोलता कंदियो ना लेकाई मीसिंग masagi leijaba khulai paiduna jengduna da ami aduga sanjana mi na ami kai ga dun chakrage na mi na ami sangyam chakrage sanjana music na no thura aga hajuna ami ha 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 aina legai matau genge na mata tawani kai laki haina ngoju titila ha 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 ngona ami Nidi aina karana sauna fuga han wala la ga karana khandu e do ga nang matu mana oi da wang nang la badi hare ga masa meru na kirami no madi sandena hana yagi lampak amada amuk san sembala koda ma tu san sembawa du na san adu nivam jan thamamalam khomai makare bodharani mana bodhari ngai da kai jaw amala na sandingu sabura amni Tanda yang nak kami mo Meri ah pota perang kalau mereka ini san di yang nak kami dah mampu sandra zara hadina ada gitu sanjindu sung pada gimana nak kan untuk udah kai jauh amana san udah lagi jadi sidi kai ni na yang kiam ni kan tu mana kalau ni jadi lekai gini sing kau dah di ai si bata deh ada lekai sa kai la ai bom tak kan biu san cintu lo na sa biu deh kan biu hai nak kan la mi lekai na hai na la mi masih dia kau masa sinang di se mata tauri orang ni hai na nama dah kurang lagi kai jauh tu na Nanti adu khara char ba matung da abu cha ga na mana ka tenda mi sende na adu matai nang ta kan na tenu mi kai du kan na tanara ami kai na kan tanara panna sende na hadi na yo dora ba kanda kai na au tungjen na sa kirami mi du da gi sende na masai tha kirami wai sina takpadi akoina idang mai da ju koi da wa ngai da ni ama ni gi thada ba ma ngai da ni tingu
Ani sana samdagi yamna fazaraba wari amakak tamina krekwa oidaba haibase yamna phatte tungda akaibe yamna lai haibagi message amaga loinana am fazaraba wari amakak tamina kre mathanga sidi class 2A dagi amuk lakhachage ahanba oina Centuria Waikhom mathangda Lanchenbi Okram Centuria Waikhom gi huranbagi lamdam hariba wari asi ranthokpinaba kothokjage
Ikan guna pada matik cara baigi musirabu oja simbu ikon kurum jari loina na aigi marup simbu sutara nukjari aigi ming Centuria Waikhom class 2 section A roll number 7 aina ngasi lijaga doi bawari asigi maming di huran bagi lamdam lobir asi aigi wari huran bagi lamdam Time mamang aigi ningthong maka parami ningthong aduna magi lebak tu lengak sasan torami Nobody huran bama kakna pona pot huran ba ningthoguna fare fasita wadamba matam kijita ngarba matamda ningthoguna hangami he nupa nang kari pami haina hangami adagi huran runarami iningthau ai sanachi komai thabidung lo khangi haina haira ami adudai ningthogu yangnak na haira me adudi komai thabiba na haina haira ami adudagi Puram bernairami, ining tahu IBC kita bamatam kicik tangare, ain hairami, lening tahu bernairami, nang si kita bamatam do ain sanggup pira bani, ain hairami, dagi puram bernamuk, ining tahu gi dan gaya laiba, sana lupa jinjelona bak thana bak butukla kadami, thagadul bami dudi, apun sigi puram cinti tahu bami, olgada bani, ain hairami, adu dagi ni tahu na Fare ai mi tiba haurage han harami adudagi ninthauduna mi tiba haurami ihan hana mana yang thajaba matrim panai bamda harami uda pham ninthauduna nangna sana thabai thaujangsi nangna lawgadabani hana harami adudagi phamai baduna harami iningthau aigi iningthauna haibu wafamdu yaba ngamjaroi aigi yumthangnaba amagi sanagi lik mari ama pura luina hana harami adudagi ninthauna ani suboina Mana yang thazaba phamnai bamu korami adudagi wafamdu munda hairami adudagi phamnai baduna hairami iningthau aidi wafamdu yaba ngamjaroi iningthauna sinabiro wafamdu aingondagi matik chade haina hairami adudai ningthauduna hairami adudi karigi matik chadriba haina hairami dagi phamnai baduna muk iningthau
ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯂꯟꯒꯩꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯄꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯃꯛ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯂꯅꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯊꯕꯛꯇ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯊꯣꯛꯎꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯐꯝꯅꯥꯏꯕꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯃꯛ ꯊꯤꯕ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯏꯕꯛ ꯊꯤꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯐꯪꯉꯝꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯟꯅ ꯊꯪꯗ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯅ ꯊꯥꯕꯤꯔꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯩ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯨꯝꯂꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯗꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯂꯣꯏ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯈꯣꯝꯒꯠꯂꯒ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯒꯗꯕ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯨꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯅꯪꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯠꯇꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯩꯗꯤ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯕꯩ ꯍꯥꯠꯇꯣꯏꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯪ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯐꯣꯡꯅ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯜꯂꯝꯕꯒꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯩꯗꯤ ꯐꯣꯡꯅ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯤꯄꯨꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕ ꯉꯥꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯈꯛꯇ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟꯕꯁꯤꯡ ꯍꯥꯠꯀꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯅ ꯍꯥꯠꯀꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯋꯥꯈꯜ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯠꯄ ꯇꯥꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯅ ꯍꯥꯠꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯐꯔꯦ ꯅꯪ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗꯤ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯑꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯗꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯅꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯇꯨꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯤꯄꯨꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟ ꯆꯤꯟꯊꯤ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯏꯐꯕ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯈꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯅꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝꯗꯤ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟ ꯆꯤꯟꯊꯤ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯐꯠꯇꯦ ꯍꯨꯔꯥꯟ ꯆꯤꯟꯊꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯁꯨ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯅ ꯅꯥꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯏꯀꯥꯏ ꯈꯨꯝꯅꯖꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨꯁꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯨꯞꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨꯁꯨ ꯊꯥꯒꯠꯆꯔꯤ ꯊꯦꯡꯛ ꯌꯨ
ꯁꯦꯟꯆꯨꯔꯤꯌꯥ ꯋꯥꯏꯈꯣꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯀꯣ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯃꯦꯁꯦꯖ ꯑꯃꯈꯛꯀ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯂꯟꯆꯦꯟꯕꯤ ꯑꯣꯀ꯭ꯔꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯒ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝꯒ ꯀꯔꯝꯕꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯕꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯃꯨꯛ ꯇꯥꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯅꯕ ꯀꯧꯊꯣꯛꯆꯒꯦ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯍꯤꯖꯝ ꯍꯔꯦꯁꯟ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯔꯣ
ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯏꯀꯨꯞꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯂꯟꯆꯦꯟꯕꯤ ꯑꯣꯀ꯭ꯔꯝ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 2 ꯀꯥꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝ ꯀꯔꯝꯕꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯕꯒꯦ ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯥꯟꯅ ꯇꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯃꯔꯨꯞ ꯑꯅꯤꯈꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯔꯨꯞ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯤꯡꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯠꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯔꯨꯞ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯒ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝꯒ ꯀꯔꯝꯕꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯕꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯃꯔꯩ ꯌꯦꯠꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯤꯡꯕꯕꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯑꯃꯕꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝꯅ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯗ ꯆꯤꯡꯅꯅꯤꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯤꯡꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯣꯃꯣ ꯅꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯅꯥꯛ ꯈꯨꯟꯕꯕꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯕꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯎꯗꯕ ꯃꯤꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯆꯟꯅꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯟꯒꯤ ꯑꯍꯜꯁꯤꯡ ꯈꯔꯗ ꯋꯥꯌꯦꯜꯂꯨꯔꯦ ꯑꯍꯜꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯏꯅꯥꯛ ꯈꯨꯟꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯕꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝꯅ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯍꯦꯛꯇꯃꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯍꯜꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯤꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯕꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯟꯊꯨꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯍꯦꯛꯇꯃꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯍꯜꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯗꯨ ꯇꯥꯕꯗ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯃꯊ꯭ꯋꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯄꯦꯜꯂꯝꯗꯦ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯇꯥꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯌꯦꯠ ꯊꯪꯕ ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯨꯡ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯆꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯋꯥꯌꯦꯜꯂꯨꯔꯦ ꯃꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯁꯨ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯔꯕ ꯋꯥꯍꯪ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯄꯥꯎꯈꯨꯝ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯉꯝꯂꯝꯗꯦ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯊꯥꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯛꯅꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯆꯤꯊꯤ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯊꯥꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯤꯊꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯄꯥꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯆꯤꯊꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯍꯥꯠꯂꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯊꯥꯔꯤꯕꯗꯨ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯉꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯕꯨ ꯖꯦꯜꯗ namsilammi amasung makhoi ani mara leitraba wahangdugidamakta phangiba dandiduda makhoi ani yamna pelamde nagunmaduna sonje oh aigi lanthum masibu karida kanarugadoribano asiba nanthongdinda yetuna leirabada aibu kusum sang asidagi nanthokhanba ngamba mida aigi lanthum asi tangkhai mamonda pigani haina wasaklammi lanthum leiba nupa adugi wasak adu tabada losing singba nupa aduna haraklammi nangi wasak adu aiba chema puthok aiba chewina puthoktuna nasagi soi tawgadabani haina haraklammi madudagidi losing singba nupa aduna chega kolonga mahaki marukta pirammi maru aduna chega kolonga adu lauraga mahaki wasak adu macha khaina irammi aduduga losing singba nupa aduna ado mahaki fikrauda fajana hapchilammi amasung makhoi ani machi manakta chatnaba hajarammi matung tabada makhoi ani machi manakta chatlammi aduduga machi aduda hajarammi ibungo horen midang waramasi akhoi hati daba yadare ibungona akhoi gi aninba pamba roi bani ba pamasi matang di thungan bidaba yadre haina haraklammi manchi aduna makhoi ni wahang tabada wadu tabada ngaklammi manchi aduna haraklammi karigino noina aingonda makhoi ani bu hatpina laba asuk thawayang haijari basi karigino miyoiba haibasi singba koba jiba amata leitabani sigadauba leirabasu nomatang nini tang mikuk amata oirabasu tondananaba haijari aduduga karigino noina aingonda hatpina laba asuk thawayang haijari basi karigino maram karigino haina haraklammi losing singba nupa aduna haraklammi ibungo miyoiba haibasi siba koba jibani mara ira leitraba aikhoi sargada aikhoi gi leifam chauna khaktuna thamni asengbalgi dharmagi laiktasu iri madudi mara leitraba misi asidi haksanga thawaiga he khaidongnabaga laigi dolai tongduna aikhoi bu sargagi dutchina sargatana pubigani adubu mara leitrana hariba mising adudi punchi chupa noroki komda tagani punchi chupa nungaiba ngamdana leigani haina haraklammi losing singba nupa adugi wadu tabada manchi ado wakhal honglaklammi manchi aduna khalammi aina makhoibu hadanabagi kholai oribasi ai pamdare aduna makhoi anibu aina thadokpirage haina khalammi matung tarapada manchi aduna aiba chemaga makhoi anibu ningthogna chatnanaba tharammi losing singba nupa aduga lanthum leiba nupa aduga chithi aduga loina makhoi ani maklami chithi ado manchi ningthau aduna parammi ningthau manchi aduna hairammi ningthaugi yathang ase aina inba ngamjararoi karigumba aina ningthaugi yathang ase iluba tarbasu aina khanjabagi mayoknabada laklagani aibu punsi chupa noroki komda taragani haina irammi adudagidi ningthau aduna ngaklammi yamna ngaklammi madudagidi ningthau aduna kupna thijalammi losing singba nupa aduna thokriba thogdokpuna ma ningthau aduda lirammi ningthau adusu wakhal honglaklammi ningthau aduna makhoi anibu thadoklammi ningthau aduna makha tarakna haraklammi he losing singba nupa nahakku aina thagatli nahakna nasagi thawai takanjabada natana namanabagi thawai busu kanbiba amasung nasagi lanthum yamna tansinjare chatlo na ngasigi chatningba mafamda chatpa yaragani haina haraklammi ningthaugi yathang phanglabada makhoi harangna mayumda halaklammi haina kibagi matung inna lanthum leiba nupagi lanthumdo tangkhai ma khaidokpuna losing singba nupaduda pirammi aduduga losingna lanthumdagi heli habado mahang masana yajaki matungda koda makhoi ni yam nungaina paminaki wari asi matang swaida losinjare wari asina taklibadi losingna lanthumbudi iraina tansinba yai adubu lanthumna losingbudi phana hotnaduna su machet amu khokpa tansinba ngamde haibasi taklibani aina masigi wari asi libada sotlanti yasin tabi mayam punamakna ngapitani thank you
Lanchendi okramdagi yamna phazaraba wari amakhak taminakrekwa losing singba haibasina hiram khudingmakta kanaba afhabata oi haibasi ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯁꯦꯖ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯃꯊꯪꯗꯤ ꯍꯤꯖꯝ ꯍꯔꯤꯁꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯧꯎꯕ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯂꯥꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯅꯕ ꯀꯧꯊꯣꯛꯆꯒꯦ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 2Aꯒꯤ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯄꯥꯔꯇꯤꯁꯤꯄꯦꯟ ꯍꯤꯖꯝ ꯍꯔꯤꯁꯟ
ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯍꯔꯤꯁꯟ ꯀꯧꯏ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 2Aꯗ ꯇꯝꯖꯩ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯄꯣꯛ ꯂꯩ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯩ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯔꯛꯑꯒꯦ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯑꯄꯤꯛꯄ ꯈꯨꯡꯒꯪ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯔꯤꯗꯨ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯅꯔꯝꯗꯦ ꯈꯠꯅꯩ ꯆꯩ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯍꯧꯕ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯇꯅꯔꯝꯗꯦ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯕ ꯊꯨꯡꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯁꯨꯝ ꯌꯥꯝꯁꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯗꯨ ꯃꯁꯥ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯉꯝꯂꯛꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯄꯣꯛ ꯃꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯋꯥꯖꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯃꯆꯥꯄꯣꯛ ꯃꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯄꯔꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯒꯦ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯃꯆꯥꯄꯣꯛ ꯃꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯀꯧꯁꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯥ ꯑꯃꯃꯝ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯎ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯄꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯥ ꯑꯃꯃꯝ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯤꯁꯤꯜꯂꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯄꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯤꯁꯤꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨꯜꯗꯣ ꯇꯣꯝꯅ ꯊꯨꯗꯦꯛꯎꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯊꯨꯗꯦꯛ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯀꯅꯥꯝꯇ ꯉꯝꯂꯝꯗꯦ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨꯜꯗꯣ ꯏꯗꯧꯅꯣ ꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨꯜ ꯑꯃꯃꯝ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯎ ꯊꯨꯗꯦꯛꯎꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯥꯏꯅ ꯊꯨꯗꯦꯛꯄ ꯉꯝꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕꯗꯗꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯅꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯆꯤꯡꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯒ ꯄꯥꯡꯒꯅꯤ ꯅꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯀꯅꯥꯝꯇꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯛꯆꯕ ꯉꯝꯃꯣꯏ ꯅꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯇꯣꯈꯥꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯛꯆꯕ ꯉꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯄꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯒ꯭ꯌꯥꯟ ꯇꯥꯔꯛꯂꯤ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤ ꯆꯥꯟꯅꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯏꯐꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯅꯥꯕ ꯐꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯁꯤꯡꯒ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯏꯐꯅ ꯄꯥꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡ ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯦ ꯃꯔꯨꯞꯆꯥ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯔꯊꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯟꯕꯗꯤ ꯀꯅꯥꯝꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯛꯆꯕ ꯉꯝꯃꯣꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯇꯣꯈꯥꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯆꯕ ꯉꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯜꯂꯁꯤ ꯑꯄꯨꯟꯕꯅ ꯄꯥꯡꯒꯅꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡ ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒꯦ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ
ꯍꯤꯖꯝ ꯍꯔꯤꯁꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯎꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯉꯥꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯥꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯄꯨꯟꯕꯅ ꯄꯥꯡꯒꯜꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯀꯣ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯣꯔꯦꯜ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯥꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯊꯪꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 2Bꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯧꯔꯁꯤꯀꯣ 2Bꯗ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ ꯊꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯇꯈꯦꯜꯂꯝꯕꯝ ꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯒꯗꯧꯕ ꯃꯥꯟꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯀꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯥꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯔꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯂꯣꯏꯕꯒ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯑꯁꯦꯝ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯝꯗꯠꯇ ꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯊꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯂꯤꯕ ꯍꯧꯔꯣ
इहान हानबा मक्तदा इकाई खुंगनबदा मतिक चारबा ओजासिंग अमसुंग जजसिंगबु इकोमनो खुरुमजरी आइगी मिंग थोइबी सना कौजै आई क्लास 2 काजरी रोल नंबर 2 सेक्शन बी आइना ngasi lijagadauriba wari asigi mamingdi lukhrabigi macha hangoi haujarage aigi wari थाइना ममांगैदा लुख्राबी अमा लैरमी लुख्राबी असिगी पिंखोलगी जुथेक्ता लाइगी मतिक मगुन चेनबा हंगोय अमसु लैरमी नोंमगी नुमित्ता लुख्राबी असिना पुख्रीदा इसिंग सोकपा कुमकपदा हंगोय असिना लुख्राबी असिदा हराइना हराम इमागी सुकनामता लैत्रे आइगी सुकनामता लैत्रे अदुना इमाना आइबु नचा सकना योक्पिरो हाइरमी लुख्राबी अदुना हंगोय अदुकु मचा सकना युक्लम नुमित अदुगी नुमिदांगदा लुख्राबी अदुना लैबाक असिगी निंथौगी मचानुपी राजकुमारीगी मसक फजबगी मरमदा वारी लिरम हंगोय असिगी वाखलदा खलमी राजकुमारी से आइगी नुपी ओइरगे हाइना महाकि वाखलदा खलम नोंगालबा मतुम हाकि मचानुपा हंगोय असिना महाकि मास्ता हाइरमी इमाना निंथौगी कोनुंगदा चत्तुना निंथौगी चानुपी राजकुमारीदो आइगी इमा ओइजरगे हाइदुना अमुक्ता हाइना बिरुचो हाइरम लुख्राबी ममा अदुना हंगोय चानपादा हाइरम इबुंगो नंदी मी सुनतना करमना इनिंथौना महाकि मचानुपी राजकुमारी अदुबु पिरक्कनी हाइरम हंगोय मचानुपा अदुगी चक्रीदा खांगु ꯄꯥꯝꯖꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡ ꯌꯧꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏꯗ ꯊꯥꯖꯕꯤꯔꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝꯅ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄꯗꯨꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁꯥꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯏ ꯃꯁꯦꯜꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯂꯩ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯅꯝ ꯇꯠꯄ ꯃꯒꯩ ꯄꯨꯔꯒ ꯃꯉꯛꯁꯝꯗꯣ ꯂꯥꯠꯇꯅ ꯏꯜꯂꯒ ꯊꯥꯈꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯏ ꯃꯁꯦꯜꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯊꯪ ꯍꯥꯞꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯅꯝ ꯇꯠꯄ ꯃꯈꯩ ꯄꯨꯔꯒ ꯃꯉꯛꯁꯝꯗꯣ ꯂꯥꯠꯇꯅ ꯏꯜꯂꯒ ꯃꯌꯨꯝ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯌꯧꯕ ꯊꯥꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯀꯞꯅ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯞꯅ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏꯗꯣ ꯃꯊ꯭ꯋꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯈꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯈꯪꯖꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯅ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯄꯁꯦ ꯑꯩ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯋꯥꯈꯜ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯣꯡ ꯅꯤꯅꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯃꯥꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯆꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯃꯧ ꯑꯣꯏꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯇꯒ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯕꯤꯔꯨꯆꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡ ꯌꯧꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏꯗ ꯊꯥꯖꯕꯤꯔꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯨꯛꯇꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗꯣ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯇꯦ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯊꯥꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯌꯨꯝꯗꯨꯗꯗꯤ ꯇꯔꯛ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯒ ꯆꯞ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯁꯥꯔꯝꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯑꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄ ꯋꯥ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯇꯝꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯗꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯆꯥꯛ ꯆꯥꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯐꯃꯨꯡꯗ ꯇꯨꯝꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯄꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯎꯝꯂꯤꯕ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯌꯥꯏꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯣꯠꯊꯣꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯠꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯐꯖꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯜꯂꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯈꯨꯝꯒꯠꯂꯒ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡꯒ ꯆꯞ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯑꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯂꯪꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯪꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡꯒ ꯆꯞ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯅꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯉꯥꯜꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯏ ꯃꯁꯤꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯒ ꯌꯦꯡꯕ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡꯒ ꯆꯞ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯉꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯊꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤꯒ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯄꯨꯝꯖꯥꯎ ꯊꯤꯟꯅ ꯂꯨꯍꯣꯡꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯄꯥꯝꯕ ꯊꯨꯡꯂꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯖꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯈꯜꯗꯗꯤ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯗꯥꯡꯗ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯪꯗ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀ ꯐꯖꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯂꯩꯀꯣꯜ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯐꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯈꯪꯅꯤꯡꯂꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯕ ꯃꯁꯥꯗꯣ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯎ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯑꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯈꯪꯂꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯤꯀꯞ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯤꯀꯞ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯐꯃꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯁꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯊꯧꯗꯣꯛ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯄꯨꯡꯉꯛ ꯉꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯪꯗ ꯃꯪꯈꯤꯕꯗꯣ ꯅꯤꯡꯁꯤꯡꯂꯒ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯕ ꯃꯁꯥ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯎ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯑꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯪꯗ ꯎꯈꯤꯕ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯥꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯣꯔꯦꯜꯗꯤ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯃꯄꯥ ꯆꯥꯗꯅ ꯁꯤꯡꯅꯔꯛꯄ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯇꯔꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯐꯠꯇꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯅꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯈꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ
ꯊꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯁꯅꯥꯇꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯥꯕꯤ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯍꯪꯉꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯃꯊꯪꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯁꯦꯝ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯝꯗꯠꯇ ꯁꯤꯡ ꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯂꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯁꯨꯝ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯝꯗꯠꯇ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯃꯄꯣꯛꯄꯝ ꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯌꯥꯁꯣꯔꯤ ꯗꯦꯕꯤ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯔꯤ ꯍꯧꯔꯣ
ꯑꯩꯅ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯦꯝ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯝꯗꯠ ꯀꯧꯖꯩ ꯑꯩ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 2Bꯗ ꯇꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯂꯩ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯔꯛꯑꯒꯦ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯄꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯤꯗ ꯐꯝꯂꯤꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯉꯥꯔꯥꯛꯄꯤ ꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯉꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯄꯥꯏꯈꯠꯈꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇꯒꯤ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯉꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯊꯥꯗꯔꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯉꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯇꯥꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯥꯏꯊꯔꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯣꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯎꯆꯦꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯩꯖ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯉꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯄꯥꯏꯈꯠꯂꯗꯨꯅ ꯉꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯊꯝꯃꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯥꯏꯗꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯌꯣꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯉꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯆꯦꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯠꯈꯔꯦ꯫ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯕꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡꯗ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯁꯨ ꯎꯆꯦꯛꯀꯤ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯩꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯐꯠ ꯐꯠ ꯆꯪꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯩ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯏꯠꯄ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯆꯩ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯪꯈꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯣꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯆꯩ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯃꯆꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯆꯧ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯇꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯪꯈꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯣꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯌꯥꯝ ꯍꯩꯖ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇꯗ ꯇꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯂꯝꯗꯦ꯫ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯩꯖ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯎꯠꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯉꯛꯂꯕ ꯃꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯏꯇꯥꯎ, ꯅꯍꯥꯟꯒꯩ ꯅꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯩꯖ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇꯗ ꯇꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯀꯩꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯏꯇꯥꯎ, ꯅꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯩꯖ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯗ ꯎꯠꯂꯗꯤ ꯅꯍꯥꯛ ꯃꯅꯥ ꯆꯥꯎꯅ ꯐꯪꯒꯅꯤ꯫ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯕꯨ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯎꯖꯕꯗ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ, ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯒꯗꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ, ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯏꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯩꯖ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ, ꯑꯗꯨ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯒꯤ ꯗꯔꯕꯥꯔꯁꯤꯗ ꯎꯠꯄ ꯌꯥꯒꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ? ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯅꯁꯨ ꯑꯌꯥꯕ ꯄꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯥꯗꯨ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯣꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯗꯔꯕꯥꯔꯗ ꯇꯤꯜꯂꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯈꯨꯕꯥꯛ ꯈꯨꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯍꯦ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ, ꯅꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯩꯖ ꯁꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯒꯨꯔꯨ ꯀꯅꯥꯗ ꯇꯝꯕꯒꯦ? ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ, ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯇꯤ ꯏꯊꯟꯅ ꯍꯩꯖꯔꯛꯄꯅꯤ, ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯒꯨꯔꯨ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯖꯗꯦ꯫ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ, ꯇꯧꯅꯨ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ, ꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯤ꯫ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯕꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡꯗ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯒꯨꯔꯨꯗꯤ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯉꯥꯔꯥꯛꯄꯤꯅꯤ꯫ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯒꯨꯔꯨ ꯎꯆꯦꯛ ꯉꯥꯔꯥꯛꯄꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯨꯔꯗꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯄꯨ ꯅꯣꯛꯁꯟꯕꯤꯔꯛꯀꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯟꯅ ꯇꯩꯅꯕꯗ, ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ, ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯒꯨꯔꯨ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯖꯗꯦ, ꯏꯊꯟꯅ ꯍꯩꯖꯔꯛꯄꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ, ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯗꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ, ꯅꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧ, ꯃꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯅꯥ ꯆꯥꯎꯅ ꯄꯤꯒꯅꯤ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯨ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯪꯈꯠꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯌꯣꯛꯄ ꯅꯪꯍꯧꯗꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯦꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯨꯗꯛꯇ ꯊꯋꯥꯏ ꯊꯥꯈꯤ꯫ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯈꯪꯍꯜꯂꯤꯕꯗꯤ ꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ꯫ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯁ ꯃꯦꯗꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯄꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ꯫
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯦꯝ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯝꯗꯠꯇꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯀꯣ, ꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ꯫ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯆꯦꯛ ꯁꯨꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯦꯔꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯦꯔꯥꯕꯀꯣ, ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ ꯁꯨꯡꯂꯩ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯂꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯥꯖꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤꯀꯣ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 2Bꯒꯤ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯃꯄꯣꯛꯐꯝ ꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯌꯥꯁꯣꯔꯤ ꯗꯦꯕꯤ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯃꯆꯥꯒꯤ ꯗꯁꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯀꯣ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯁꯤ꯫ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯣ ꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯌꯥꯁꯣꯔꯤ, ꯋꯥꯔꯤ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯏꯀꯥꯏ ꯈꯨꯝꯅꯕꯗ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯆꯥꯔꯕ ꯁꯔꯕꯤꯁꯤꯄꯥꯟꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯛꯃꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ꯫ ꯑꯅꯤꯁꯨꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯗꯁꯨ ꯀꯣꯛꯃꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ꯫ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯌꯥꯁꯣꯔꯤ, ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 4 ꯆꯠꯄꯤ, ꯔꯣꯜ ꯅꯝꯕꯔ 26꯫ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯃꯆꯥꯒꯤ ꯗꯁꯥ꯫ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥ 3 ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯍꯟꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯅ ꯁꯅꯥꯇꯦꯝꯕꯤ, ꯃꯆꯥ ꯌꯥꯏꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯨꯄꯥꯇꯦꯝꯕꯤ, ꯏꯇꯣꯟ ꯇꯣꯟꯕ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯄꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯕꯨꯡꯉꯣ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯀꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯊꯦꯜ ꯆꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯀꯩꯊꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯐꯪꯂꯛꯄ ꯄꯩꯁꯥꯅ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯊꯥꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯣꯡꯃ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯩꯊꯦꯜ ꯆꯠꯂꯝꯗꯥꯏꯗ, ꯕꯦꯝꯃ, ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯐꯥꯎ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯁꯨꯡꯍꯥꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯦꯀꯣ, ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯈꯪꯅꯕ ꯋꯥꯍꯩ ꯈꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯒꯦ, ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯍꯩꯁꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯗꯤ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯁꯨꯡꯍꯥꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯦꯀꯣ꯫ ꯁꯅꯥꯇꯦꯝꯕꯤ ꯏꯕꯦꯝꯃ, ꯂꯨꯄꯥꯇꯦꯝꯕꯤ ꯏꯕꯦꯝꯃ, ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯉꯣ, ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯉꯣ, ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯐꯥꯎ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯁꯨꯡꯍꯥꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯦꯀꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯒ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯀꯩꯊꯦꯜ ꯀꯥꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ꯫ ꯈꯨꯡꯒꯪ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯍꯤꯡꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄꯗꯣ ꯌꯦꯅꯈꯥꯔꯣꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯍꯧꯔꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯗꯥꯡ ꯄꯨꯝꯃꯝꯕ ꯇꯥꯏꯃꯤꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯒ ꯍꯩꯕꯣꯏ ꯍꯩꯇꯕꯣꯏ, ꯁꯅꯥꯇꯦꯝꯕꯤ ꯏꯕꯦꯝꯃ, ꯂꯨꯄꯥꯇꯦꯝꯕꯤ ꯏꯕꯦꯝꯃ, ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯉꯣ, ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯉꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯦꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯨꯟꯅ ꯇꯥꯏ꯫ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯃꯈꯣꯟ ꯃꯥꯟꯗꯦ, ꯆꯥꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯔꯣꯟ ꯁꯦꯠꯄ ꯉꯝꯖꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣ ꯍꯌꯦꯡꯗꯤ ꯃꯨꯟꯅ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯆꯠꯈꯔꯦ ꯍꯤꯡꯆꯥꯕꯤꯗꯣ꯫ lagi mama adu hale halaga sana tembi ibema lupa tembi ibema imalae thunghango imalae thunghango harabde krak krak hang ga jange mama do nungale kaithel ka ba matam amu yoropada mama adu na ngarang ge du maina bema ima lak jubo ngarang ge du maina thung sunga hang ya de ko ngarang jubo ai thara do harak jubo thung sunga hang ya de ko haira maga mama adu kaithel ka gare kungang adu da lai ben sabi mana mama adu na hairam bado mana unjang la e aduga mana pai de unjang aduga haibo he to sana tembi ibema lupa tembi ibema imalae thonghango hai machi adu na mun na tai ma ko ni kitang lai rap tau do le man machi na mo di thong yang ko na yang hau na sang ko na ko bang ga ya de yin ho na ki bang kai le ja bi ma lai ro mo ku re ko ma na ja bi ku na ma sai on ga lai ko ma na ko re adu na wa ni si ma lai thonghango 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 ima ni ka pe mà nào còn nông chơi thôi mà chơi nông tác hay mà nào còn nông chơi thôi mà chơi nông tác hay mà nào còn nông chơi thôi cái có dạng hàng đó giảm cho mà để cho nhẹ ha mà xin thì cái theo cái bây giờ sẽ là pada hak sang sang wa để đang ham nhẹ rồi mà cha làm nhẹ hay mà xin thì nói nó phản vậy đó xin lo da hay mà khơi đi thùng và xoay ta na hay vậy đó cái nó khơi tổ không thùng để không gần lọt hay là angga ba khui do khara alu ma ton ton dai chi tawa khara ga tawa thonge jaram dai ma tanda na ku kham tin ko ti ja khi da ge ai la dara lai ba dara yang ko dai he ti yu hai ma chen na moi da pu yang dai lam apung ara khara le da ha lo ti de ai ga di na injang ga dai da ha pu ba ai ko ku to ra he kha pu ai ma chi mana anh nó hay thay cái gì này anh muốn làm mà xin cái hạt bể anh tôi ra bao rồi vậy mà ra sai đâu mà khai được đối xa đấy ha cái chuyện đó thì đó mà sai cái thiên đó chẳng làm anh chỉ cần nghĩ ra bây giờ biết chỉ có một cái cái đang xích ra chút bụi lấy cái xin lỗi lấy ra hay là một cái làm tốt không vậy cái mà chỉ đi nó có cái mà tôi mà cái nó chỉ nó mà tôi mua cô hay mà hàng cái đấy cũng là tôi đại nhẹ hay Masidi, kaya gaya ba yung sila pada sang siyam tuktari. Ado na kitang lengthog lengthong daw na ba? Ada ba? Macam mana adi nu bantu me? Lagi sabi na po madu ba? Mana pa tu mga tumme? Macam mana ani tumba yadre? Isi sabi ni kamay daw ni, isi sabi ni kamay daw ni daw na. Ado lagi di, ang sabi ni na di tumba manin na. Mana pa tu sabi huli kodro, petre daw na. Macam mana ni na kodro daw tare. Lupa tembi, mana saya dukai nu kita sabi hayo ay. Ima, kay nu ima saya du kita sabi hay. Ha, kay sunat dia dah ngasai ke tiada lagi tambah macam dah ngakul lapan ni. Ngasai tu sabi yang cahau je, aduna sabi na min sabi ni dah. Ada, ima, asu macam anta sabi ay. Taning kapon ni no sima, jadi ni ada he hay mana upai kuno masa tu piek busy si dia kuno upai kuno macam ni. Sabi sini iban susah dari iban ni, kalau sini mama dah ingin aku dah beli aral si lagi. Iban susah dari aduh iban hawa soal mang ni ada. Lupa tembi nak kong hamingnya hayo ay. Ima kong yang hamingnya ay. Kamang tu dah kantu oh ay. Ima hanggo ye ay. Ay yang hari mana tasan tu ye ay. Ima mana namcini ye ay. Pai tu oh me ay. Ima hanggo ye me ay. 이마는 다들 또 이거 이마는 다들 또 이거 컨닝마 혹다네 서리 투비오 보고 아이마 반다 생나 한 또가 투구나 장갑게 베나 알아 진짜 비는 엄마가 마는 뭐 보다 서리 투비래 마치 이는 바야오래 마치 인기래 뭐 반다 투게 마치 나니도 어디다기 루파 템비 aku shumban di kada sakharge ai isi ꯁꯪꯒꯣꯏꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤꯌꯦ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯁꯪꯒꯣꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯨꯝꯕꯟꯗꯣ ꯆꯤꯡꯊꯣꯔꯛꯑꯒ ꯁꯨꯝꯕꯟꯗꯣ ꯊꯤꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯩꯉꯩꯗ ꯕꯦꯝꯃ ꯅꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯈꯤꯖꯤꯛꯇꯪ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯕꯦꯝꯃ ꯅꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯈꯤꯖꯤꯛꯇꯪ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯍꯣ ꯍꯟꯇꯣꯛꯑꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯄꯤꯗ ꯀꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯇꯦꯝꯕꯤꯗ ꯀꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯊꯧꯔꯤꯗꯣ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯁꯨꯝꯕꯟꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯦꯟꯅ ꯀꯤꯁꯜꯂꯝꯃ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯗꯣ ꯆꯦꯟꯈꯔꯦ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏ ꯊꯣꯡꯉꯥꯡꯉꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯟꯕꯤꯌꯣ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏ ꯊꯣꯡꯉꯥꯡꯉꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯆꯤꯟ ꯏꯅꯥꯎ ꯄꯟꯕꯤꯌೋ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯆꯦꯜꯂꯛꯑꯦ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯕꯦꯝꯃ ꯅꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔ ꯈꯨꯝꯃꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯕꯦꯝꯃ ꯅꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔ ꯆꯤꯡꯁꯤꯜꯂꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯁꯨꯝꯕꯟꯗꯣ ꯇꯧꯔ ꯆꯦꯜꯂꯛꯑꯦ ꯑꯠꯆꯥ ꯁꯨꯝꯕꯟꯅꯤꯅ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯇꯧꯔ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯃꯄꯥꯟ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯄꯗꯤ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯁꯤꯅ ꯂꯥꯎ ꯆꯦꯟꯕꯗꯣ ꯎꯔꯦ ꯑꯠꯆꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯆꯩꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯁꯜꯒꯗ ꯊꯥꯡꯒꯠꯂꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯄꯇꯥꯗ ꯊꯝꯃꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔ ꯁꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯇꯨꯝ ꯂꯣꯠꯂꯒꯦꯅ ꯑꯥꯏ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯍꯦꯛꯇ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯃꯥꯁꯦ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯁꯤꯅ ꯂꯥꯎ ꯆꯦꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯑꯍꯤꯡ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯀꯅꯥꯝꯇꯅ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯣꯏꯔꯕꯤ ꯄꯥꯏꯕ ꯉꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯕꯤ ꯍꯅꯨꯔꯕꯤ ꯑꯃꯅꯗꯤ ꯇꯥꯏ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯅ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯃꯤ ꯆꯥꯎꯅ ꯇꯝꯃꯦꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯩꯉꯥꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯎꯔꯗꯤ ꯆꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯀꯅꯤꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯥꯇꯦꯟꯗꯣ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯊꯣꯡꯗꯣ ꯇꯛ ꯂꯥꯎ ꯍꯥꯡꯇꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯂꯥꯇꯦꯟꯗꯣ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯊꯝꯃꯦ ꯏꯆꯦ ꯑꯥꯗ ꯃꯩꯉꯥꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯎꯔꯦ ꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯆꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯁꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔ ꯆꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯑꯦ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯅꯤꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯆꯦꯟꯁꯤꯟꯐꯝꯒꯤ ꯊꯣꯡꯒꯥꯟ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯆꯪꯕꯒ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯀꯝꯃ꯭ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯇꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯧꯕ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯅꯤꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯁꯪꯒꯣꯠ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯌꯧꯕꯒ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯣꯡꯒꯥꯟꯗꯣ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯌꯧꯕ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯅꯤꯅ ꯆꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯣꯏꯔꯕꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤꯅ ꯈꯪꯃꯦꯟ ꯂꯣꯟꯁꯤꯟꯈꯤꯕꯒ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯡꯗꯣ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯌꯧꯕ ꯍꯦ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗꯣ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯔꯛꯑꯣ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯟꯖꯥꯛꯅꯤ ꯍꯦ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗꯣ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯔꯛꯑꯣ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯟꯖꯥꯛꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯣꯏꯔꯕꯤ ꯍꯅꯨꯔꯕꯤꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯉꯥꯡ ꯇꯒꯠ ꯇꯦꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯑꯅꯤꯗꯨ ꯆꯥꯗꯣꯔꯕꯤ ꯃꯆꯤꯟꯒ ꯑꯣꯔꯣ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯏꯃꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯊꯣꯡꯁꯦ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗ ꯈꯠꯇꯅ ꯀꯤꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯁꯦ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤꯅꯤ ꯀꯥꯏꯅ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯔꯛꯄꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯅꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯤꯛꯂꯤꯉꯩꯗ ꯍꯦ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯣ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯔꯛꯎ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯦ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯗꯣ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯔꯛꯎ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯊꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯁꯨꯡꯊꯥ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯄꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯇꯥꯃꯟꯗꯕꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯠꯈꯔꯦ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗ ꯇꯨꯝꯃꯗꯤ ꯀꯤꯔꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯅꯨꯡ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯑꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗ ꯇꯨꯝꯃꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯅꯨꯡ ꯊꯣꯡꯗ ꯇꯨꯝꯍꯜꯂꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯣꯏꯔꯕꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯐꯃꯨꯡꯗꯨꯗ ꯇꯨꯝꯃꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯣꯏꯔꯕꯤꯅ ꯕꯦꯝꯃ ꯅꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯇꯨꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯣ ꯍꯪꯉꯛꯑꯦ ꯇꯨꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯕꯦꯝꯃ ꯅꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯇꯨꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯇꯨꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯊꯥꯏꯅꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯅ ꯒꯣꯗꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯕꯅ ꯃꯥ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯏꯜꯂꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯣꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯥ ꯑꯄꯤꯛꯄ ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯒ ꯃꯆꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯥꯎꯒꯤ ꯅꯥꯀꯣꯡꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯤꯔꯣꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯍꯦ ꯅꯕꯥꯅꯤꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯍꯤꯡꯆꯥꯕꯤꯅꯤ ꯅꯕꯥꯅꯤ ꯇꯨꯝꯈꯤꯕ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯤꯃꯤ ꯅꯕꯥꯅꯤꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯇꯨꯝꯈꯤꯕꯒꯅꯤ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯆꯪꯉꯛꯑꯒ ꯅꯕꯥꯅꯤ ꯆꯥꯗꯣꯔꯤꯃꯤ nabani mani thongje siangro harapadai mabai se akhena ki gare adagi mabai se mani thong takna hando siangai mani thong lo da lamaga adai ba siangai be mana mutum jibo hai madu mo chida tumdri hai noi mutum mo ne ngahai ye ri wala anne kari amani lo khang ge su tum be tum de haraga jabina be mana mutum jibo hai tumdri ana khunne e tum da bai kam ne khai sar ge sanni e phawung kano si phawung di hang le mine kanana khumbi jano haiba amtam ko yingi kena be mana mutum tribon hai mon me ad inna masal tumdri an khumi acha mo amasar khumi rom je ta ti ka mi khala maya da aw mau chan gare re mani kung do hang ko o yong badali amam angan china ba ni ka thaga sina ba gi do oiram me dagi acha laksai da ikus tar ba mani ga ngan ku da to jadna le hawe de machina na law chela padadi no ngale machina ani do mayum da sangi atagi nupa timi dun hare isi machi da ni thong fu an hang lo ji ko cha lam su isin ta akhang ni ko che orang do ko an wa de na ba no shi ga bo jadna sa thu ki dun na cha ai ga le ale mama ase mo da le sana timbi ibe ma nupa timbi ibe ma imala e thong hang hare imala khon man de hare namani ne nama masang khangrabo ai narang ka thil phamada thindok kidana masi hala ibani ne hai ko jabi nang ne ta to ano ina pa nang sindrabado nang na sa thu pidi khatro ko jabi ai Hey, kenapa pari kamani hisabi na satu piba? Ha, ay, yung hisabi tato ano, yung hisabi tato ano, ay. Oh, ibu jangan pernah kaya gini tunggu hang turu ni ibu. Oh, tadi hang turu dah, ay, tunggu tengah hatre. Ada dia. Oh, nung hang jam na turu na pa, ni se. Indian police ka phayo masaji ka koy masaji ka yan pani. Nung ni si, nung na thambalan ko pani se yan pani, nung thambalan ko pani se yan pani se. Noi hangin jam na to, ay mo na wali sana ni la. Ni jadi di manam da khang di. Mama masado bu khungaram ta le. Ay orang pai di pai di. Bema, bisa ipa ya pai ngok tadi ni. Yang pun tadi hang da. Ay. Hang hai masih dah jangan tu hang hai ay. Oh, nó thung hangin jam ko. Mama ko kangaron ni se. Bisa bina pai kon hale. Adu nai ma di hisabi mo ko tatarani. No se. Ni pinomian se. Manggol di kasih hari. Tamamage. Na, ay di hisabi mo ko tatagani. Na ma di hisabi mo ko tatagani to. Hisabi na pa sila pa na hali. Halaga, hisabi na. Basta mo mara mo ko kailangan Godro, sahuri eh. Isiya, hisabi na ko yung nami pura sa'yo nga ni. Hoy, cari nga ni. Halaga, mama do di kodro, cari eh. Mama di ni ya so wani na nung alam dai rukta nung ya je makut khara makhong khara ari makhara tahalla thamame adai jabi lunga to pai gare adagi majunga ina nung ala kan tholo padani mama ni makut makhong khara tale meta majunga ani do makhong sa ang tin to wa ko ina ingam thogi de no ko ina ni khangja na me thum hang de ho ga me ko ina ko ina ni thogi de to ko ina taruh kapure jadi midang jadi mesti mana anu dona sina ari ni sina nang ni sina bu baca ni harap midang tak sih midang tak sebuah makan jauh pun jangan dong lagi ada ni si ai di mana pun bukan dong ni je si hang jalan macam mana je si ai hang mama pun bukan dong ni betul Nung hari amo minjang ko ina dito ko ina taw kape ano dagi di macam mana ano dami ki pausulo taw da nami ki thabak ingang taw da na wana hinga morek oblesana mama na la rebo ru gane macha singi manakta matampum na magtalaiba nga muda bagi
Okay, Vidyasuri Hazaraba, Wari Amakak Taminakre ko. Matanga City Class 3 dagi amuk lokachar age Class 3 gi ahan bo oina Tarangbam Rosan Singh Rosan gi hek mathangda Chandni sem saraga leiro Rosan gi King Midas and Gold Dust Hairi Bawari asi lanthokpina ba kokthokjage.
Respected principal, teachers, business member, my fellow friend and dear brother and sister. Good morning everyone. My name is Tarangbam Rosen. I read in class 3. The title of my story is King Midas and the Golden Touch. Once upon a time, there was a king called Midas. He was very rich and he had so many palaces and a large kingdom. And he had a lovely little daughter called Marigold. And he had so many gold than any other king in the world. But he was very unhappy because he wanted more gold. One day, he was praying to God every time. Suddenly, God appeared and asked, "What do you want? I shall grant you a wish." King Midas asked God, "Oh God, I want more gold." God said, "But you have more gold than any other king in the world." King Midas said, "I know, but gold is the greatest thing in the world. So, oh God, please grant me a boon. Whatever I touch should turn into gold." King said, "Are you sure? Think again. You may regret it." King Midas firmly said, "I am prepared to bear the risks. It's done. God said, your wish is granted, but don't say, I didn't warn you. King Midas was very happy. He touched his throne and that turned into gold. He touched the table, the chairs, the vases. He touched everything and everything turned into gold. King Midas was very excited. He thought he was the richest man in the world. Just then, he felt tired, hungry, and thirsty. He sat down on the dining table and touched his dinner. But what did he see? He saw that all the fruits and all the foods turned into gold. King Midas was astonished. He thought that he won't be able to drink or eat anything. Oh, what have I done? How foolish I have been, he growled. But suddenly, his dear daughter came running to pick her father. When the father put his arm around his daughter, what did he see? He was shocked when he saw that his daughter also turned into a statue of gold. King Midas was terrified. He ran into the palace and cried aloud, "Oh no, 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 I do not want any more gold. I want my dear daughter back. I beg of you, God, please, please take away your gold. I want my dear daughter back." All of a sudden, God appeared and asked, "Do you still think gold is the greatest thing in the world?" King said, "No, no. I have learned my lesson. I do not think gold is the greatest thing in the world." God said, "All right." Finally, God relenting said, "This is magical water. If you sprinkle this water on everything that turned into gold, everything will come back into its original form." King Midas was very happy. He sprinkled the magical water on everything that turned into gold. Suddenly, he realized that everything's come back to its original form. King Midas got back his dear daughter back. King Midas was very happy. The moral of the story is, do not be greedy. Greed is the root of many troubles. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, 로선ꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯔꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯈ꯭ꯔꯦꯀꯣ. ꯀꯔꯥꯝ ꯆꯥꯎꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯀꯔꯤꯝꯇ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯦꯁꯦꯖ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯆꯥꯟꯗꯅꯤ ꯗꯦꯕꯤ, ꯆꯥꯟꯗꯅꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯄꯨ ꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯍꯨꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯁꯤ. ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯁ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯔꯣ.
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯄꯨ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ. ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯥꯟꯗꯅꯤ ꯑꯣꯛꯄ꯭ꯔꯥꯝ ꯀꯧꯖꯩ. ꯑꯩ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 3 ꯀꯥꯖꯔꯤ. ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯐꯝꯅ ꯊꯧꯕꯥꯜ ꯅꯤꯉꯣꯝꯕꯝ ꯎꯊꯥ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏ. ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯃꯄꯨ ꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯍꯨꯏ. ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ. ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ. ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯗꯥꯡ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡ ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯄꯨꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯕꯨ ꯆꯦꯛꯁꯤꯟꯅ ꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ. ꯃꯄꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯕꯨꯛ ꯊꯟꯅ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯐꯪꯖꯗ꯭ꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯄꯨꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯆꯠꯀꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯟꯈꯤꯗꯦ. ꯅꯣꯡꯃ ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯩꯊꯦꯜꯗ ꯊꯣꯔꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯀꯣꯏꯌꯦꯡ ꯌꯦꯡꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯄꯪꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯐꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯌꯥꯟꯁꯤꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯦꯞꯄ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ. ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯄꯪ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯃꯤꯠ ꯀꯨꯞꯇꯕ ꯃꯈꯩ ꯌꯦꯡꯂꯝꯃꯤ. ꯑꯄꯪꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ, ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯐꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯂꯩꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯤ. ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯍꯨꯏꯗ ꯍꯪꯂꯛꯏ, "ꯍꯦ ꯍꯨꯏ, ꯅꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯐꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯂꯩꯖꯔꯣ?" ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ "ꯒꯧ" ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯣꯡꯂꯛꯏ. ꯑꯄꯪꯅ, "ꯅꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯐꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯂꯩꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯦ." ꯑꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯉꯛꯇ ꯐꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯟꯁꯤꯟꯕꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ. ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯄꯪꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯏ, "ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯄꯩꯁꯥ ꯄꯤꯔꯣꯗꯅ ꯐꯤꯒꯤ." ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ "ꯒꯧ" ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯣꯡꯂꯛꯏ. ꯑꯄꯪꯅ, "ꯅꯪ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯎꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ, ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯄꯤꯔꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ." ꯑꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯑꯄꯪ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯟꯈꯤ. ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯐꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯄꯨꯗ ꯁꯤꯟꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ. ꯃꯊꯪꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠꯇ ꯍꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯗ ꯊꯣꯔꯛꯄ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯄꯪꯒ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯦ. ꯑꯄꯪꯅ, "ꯍꯦ ꯍꯨꯏ, ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯅꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯐꯤ ꯄꯩꯁꯥ ꯄꯤꯔꯣ. ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯅꯪꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯐꯤ ꯌꯣꯜꯂꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯉꯥꯡꯕꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦ." hui adugi thausadaba taw aduda apang adu sauningmankhiduna manakta taba utup ama paraga hatlage haiduna tawbada hui adudi kiraduna ukhong amagi makhada makhong anina khoro khoro kholami apangna huigi mataw adu munna yenglaba matungda khalli nahaki si paisa asi leibang manungda leire sinine asi khalami mahana asi khanduna leikaidagi yopak ama laururaga mafam adu tawkhaire paisa phangni khanna tawrak leptana tawrakpana pun ama phanglare pun aduda yengtharubada sana pik thana yauramle apang mama macha su huigi mapandagi nungaya phaba imung ama oikhi nongma ina khunba nupa aduna lairaba nupa adugi khungangda lakpada mahana apangna lairaba nupa aduda harai aina nahaki khungang asida lakpagi maramdi ai haki leikaida huranba kaman khibana hui afaba amata thiba laklibani asi harami lairaba nupa aduna khalli ai haki hui ase ina khunba nupa asida leirabadi chaningbata chaduna nungaina leba phangani asi khandona mahaki hui aduda nan thabiraga harai hui naha ina khunba nupa asigi mayum asida chaningbata chaduna nungaina leyu kaidaunungda huranlon chajake khalodabani mapu asina khangjingaida mafam asida lona chelake haiba wakhal adu khanganu ko asi haraga hui adu ina khunba nupa aduda sinare ina khunba nupa su harau harau na mayumda hanthi nungtigi nungdang khudingi mangol kachinda huigi gunphamni haiduna kambal ama thaduna hui adu pulhalami nongmadi nungai khraba ina khun khraba imung aduda huranba changle hui adu su mabuk thanna chasilaga kambal mathak aduda asumasung kunmadagi tumthawa mata thoktuna huranba sing aduna sanalupa hukhirami makhoigi hui aduna hogalaklami maduda mahana mi chathibagi sauhum phangbada mahana khali sidi huranba changlena asi khanduna adubu yengduna mahana thiraklami maduda khara chalaga mahana ure huranba sing adugi sanalo fam mongsong amada lairambi mongsong adugi tamna lalami hui adusu khali ai hangna makhoigi laifam tadi khanglage asi khanduna mahakso asumasum inaraglami mongsong adu yaure mongsong adu dagi lainungi thong ma hangtoktuna sana sing adu mafam chana thamnamlaga huranba sing adu su mayumda hanki hui adu su ure huranba singna tawribado mahaksu mayumda kanna chelalaga mapubu go haiduna hogdogle ina khunba nupa aduna hogalakpada maning thong hanglambadu ure mahangna huranba changle khangduna mahana mapana phingna chenthораglami hui aduna mapugi phiji adu mayada chiktuna chingduna moksongnda puraglami ina khunba nupa adu su huina karigumba khara haningbra haina khanduna huina lamjingba maikaida laglami asumasun lakpana moksong adu yaurami moksong aduda hui aduna lainungi thong adu khoro kholami apang ina khunba nupa aduna lainungi thong adu phakaina bohnabada ngamdre mahana numidang aduda prap chenduna lekai gi khunja kaya kaurure makhoi sing aduga tawraga thong adu nongkhaiba matamda guhagumna tawba mafam ama thengnare maduda sanalupa pik thanna yaurami apang nungai khraba apang ina khunkraba nupa nungai khraba nupa adu apang ado mahana lagliba khunja kaya da sanalupa khara yethokraga aremba sing adu mayunna puduna halaglami mahana khali asibu laraba nupa adu gidamakta saru khabam thoktabra thui mahana pirakpa huigi mapandagi huranbana hukhiba sanalupa khaktana huranbana lotuna thamma pumnama khangbangam khibani Hiyeng longalaga thinbiruge khanduna sana khara lotuna thamlami hui adusu mahaki lairaba mapugini haiduna sana matum ama mayada chiktuna mahaki kunpham kambal mankhada lotchaduna thamlami mathangi numita hui adu sana matum adu mayada chiktuna laglami lairaba mapugi mayumda lairaba nupa adusu thabak suba chatke haiduna mahaksu pirolo sinbada ngairi hui aduna lairaba nupa adugi mayumda hana yaure hui aduna lairaba nupa adugi mamangda sana matum adu thadaraga mapuda manam sut namduna nungsina mapugi makhongna lekpirami Lairaba nupa adunadi sana matum adu inakhunba nupa adudagi huralaklibani haina khankre aina nangbu hural matam nucho haina thabra asi hairaga mara lejadraba hui adugi maraibakta chaituk amana thomlammi mara lejadraba hui ado maraiba adu pop kairaga sire inakhunba nupa adu su sana khawjau raga lairaba nupa adugi mayumda laglammi mahangna taduna lairiba hui adu ure mahangna hanglai kari karamba maralgi asung nungsikhaba hui ase halibano haina hanglale lairaba nupa aduna harai sanam tum huralakpagini inakhunba nupa aduna mu harai wakhal onare marabak tiraba hui asina mapugi damakta kari thawdang pangtholambage haibadu amata jithadana lirai wari taraba matungda lairaba nupa adu yamna ningamaktre mahaki hui adu kokhalaga mahangna makol thongna kablaglammi inakhunba nupa adu su sanalupa adu piramlaga mahaksu ningamdabagi maisa amaga loinana mayumda hanki wari asigi moral di khathadana thabak tawbana isat amango heldi namaku khurumjari
Chandanidagi yam fazaraba wari amasu taminakre ngahaki sawningba khanta hogdana tawba thabak si na khudongthiba ohelakpagi ayabasu oi habado adugi wari amagi message amaga loinana taminakre mathang asidi Grace stagi A Farmer and Four Son hariba wari simuk taminanaba popokchari Grace
Miss Tare. Hello, good morning everyone, respected teachers and my dear friends. My name is Daksa Kanchum Grace. I read in class 3. I am from Machivules and I belong to Marin tribe. Today I am going to tell the story. The title of my story is The Farmer and His Fortunes. Let's start it. Once upon a time, there was a farmer. He had 4 sons. The sons always fight among themselves. One day, the farmer got ill. Then, he called all the sons. He wanted them to be together. He asked the sons to bring a bundle of sticks. Then, he asked them to break a bundle of sticks. Each of them tired, but no one could break it. The farmer told to the sons to take out 1 stick and break it. Now each of them broke it easily. Then the farmer said to his sons, "If you're united, nobody can break or harm you. If you're alone, anyone can harm you." After this, all sons stopped fighting and started living together happily. The moral of the story is together and divided before. Thank
Catherine Grace tagi koi yam phazaba for A Farmer and a Four Son bi wari matare koi union strength haibuni ko chegna aduna wari matare aduga uji koi hanba category, there is category A. Category A gi huji akoi ko si group si oinandi koi loshalla si oina ko aduga group B, category B haibitare. Category B, that is from class 4 to class 6 set huji koi hauna ba sem sa balore aduga marak thana koi category B sida koi gi just obi gida singam tu ming ai lakhok chage ahan bada koi sar sanayama tangda madam noni bala tangda sar Haridas aduga ai just ahum dagi ayaba lojaraga koi ngasigi category B gi koi gi wari libagi sangdam dabagi thoramasi ai haujarage category B gi oina ahan makada koi class 4 de haurage class 4 gi Gloria Akram dagi gadha amasung kai haiba wari ama lina bai hanjari aduga mahek loibaga sem sadon laigada koi thangjam Aisa Devi, the lion and the clever fox haibase thang sem saduna leibina ba haijari huji Gloria Akram tholo adu nangi gadha amasung kai haiba mai do
Mayambu khurumjari aigi ming Glory kaujai ai class 4 da tamjari aina ngasi mayamgi mafamda wari ama puduna laktari Wari asigi mamingdi gada amasung kai haujarage aigi wari. Thaina mamamayda gada amaga kai amaga lerami nomadi gada sina kai sida hairami. Ke kai napisi higok majuni. Gada dugi wapamdo tabada kai duna amuk hairami. Kera gada karigidamakta napisi higok majuno asangba majuni. Asumna tawdana gada amasung kai ani adu marayyanarami. Makoy anina marayyanaribadu loiraroi khangaduna makoyna makoygi ningthau nungsada gatlaga wakatlurasi haina yanare. Makoyna ningthaugi manakta yaura'e. Sa mayamgi maraktuda nungthau nungsadu khammaga lerami. Gadaduna kaisina hana haidribay mamangda mana hana hairage khaladuna mahakna ningthau nungsadugi manakta dangaaga haira'ami. Iningthau napisi bigo umasu natrane. Ningthawduna amuk haira'ami. Mani napisi higo umachuni. Gadaduna amuk haira'ami. Adudi iningthau napisi higo umachu oirabadi. Kaisinadi aingwanda napisi higo umachu nate hai. Adugidamakta mangonda jarak bibiyu. Gadadugi wapamdo tabada ningthawna amuk haira'ami. Aina kai asi sahi ama kaisum sangda thamgani. Kaiduda nungsaduna hairappa matamdadi kaisina amuk changjala'aga nungsadida amuk hangami. Iningthau napisibu asangbu maju natrane. Nungsaduna amuk haira'ami. Mani napisi asangbu majuni. Kaiduna amuk haira'ami. Iningthau adu oirabadi karigidamakta aingwanda jarak pibigadawribano. Nungsaduna amuk haira'ami. Aina nangwanda jarak pigadawribasidi. Napisi higok majuni asangba majuni haibagi nate. Aina nangwanda jarak pigadawribasidi. Adukna thawna laidraba asingba narinja laidraba nangduba ta amaga apangba gadasiga manaraga marayyanaraga aigi inakta wayenli haina laklibado. Aina nongmada khalude. Aina adusu yaningde adugidamaktani. Aina nangwanda jarak pibasi. Wari asi lozare. Wari asigi pawtabdi. Aikoiga apang pukibasinga manaraga kaidawungda marayyanarojabani. Makoyna khalibaduda adum chume haina laizarabani. Aduduna aikoyna moiga manaraga khanarabadi makoygi anenba thaptuda aikoyse singdaraga masida kana khitangna mangjadoise haiba matamda aikoy khitangni. Wari asi lozare mayamba amu hana thagatba phondoksari.
Glory Okramdagi yamsaba wari ko gatha amasung kai habagi wari amatare. Mathangsidhi koi Thangjam Aisha Devi dagi ko Aisha Devi dagi The Lion and the Clever Fox haiba wari si tarasi hek Aisha loibaga mathangda Narengbam Santi Rani Devi magi the Monkey and the Fox haiba wari se amuk sem sadon lainaba ain haijari Aisha tholo Thangjam Aisha Devi The Lion and the Clever Fox.
Morning, my teachers and my beloved friends. My name is Aisha. I read in class 4. The title of my story is The Lion and the Clever Fox. Once upon a time, a lion was in the dense forest. One day, he announced that he was very sick and asked the animal to come and see him one last time. So the animal decided one of them would pay visit to lion's cave. First day, the goat went into the lion's cave and didn't come back. The sheep went into the lion's cave and didn't come back. The calf also went into the cave and to visit the lion and didn't come back. There was the clever fox in the forest. When his friend was getting missing, he started having doubt on lion. So one day, he went to lion's cave. The fox didn't enter the cave. The lion was sitting in front of his cave. The lion saw the fox who had been waiting outside for some time. "Why do you not come to pay your respect to me?" said the lion to the fox. "Please excuse me," said the fox. "I noticed all the animals that you have already come in to visit you. I see many footmarks going in, but I see none coming out. I know that you have killed them. Now I will tell all the animals about this your trap. The fox went and told all the animals of the forest that pay visit to lion's cave only if you don't love to live. The animal stopped paying to lion's cave and the lion was died due to hunger. The moral of the story is never lie to people for your selfish motive.
Okay, akhoi thangjam Aisha da yam phajaba The Lion and the Clever Fox haiba ko akhoi longmi loksing haiba do ko adugi wari yam phajabam tare. Next ko akhoi class 4 ge aroiba Narengbam Santirani Devi mayondegi The Monkey and the Fox haiba wari je we taminaraji ko tholo keno Narengbam Santirani, you can start.
First of all, I respect all my teachers, judges, and my dear friend. Today, I'm going to tell a story. The name of my story is The Monkey and the Fox, written by Sardar Sharma. Let me start my story. Once upon a time, there was a jungle full of animals. Amongst the animals, there was a monkey. All the monkeys decided to have a meeting and decide the ruler of the jungles. All the animals asked the monkey to dance. The monkey jumped, danced, sang, and entertained everyone. All the animals loved his dance, and even they started to dance. All the animals was very happy. Therefore, they crowned the monkey the king. All the fox also present that day. He did not vote for the monkey. Therefore, he was very angry. He decided the monkey king was not a good king. One day, the fox was walking in the jungle. Suddenly, he came across a trap. On the trap, there was a little piece of meat. He got an idea. He ran to the monkey king and said, Sir, I have a treasure for you, and I haven't touched it, because it belongs to you, my majesty. The monkey king became greedy. He followed the fox to the trap and the meat. When he saw the meat, he got excited and jumped to catch the meat, and he got stuck in the trap. The fox saw this. He started laughing and told the monkey, You cannot become our king, because a king should be able to take care of himself. If you cannot take care of all yourself, how should take care of all of us? Then the fox ran to the old animals and told about this. Soon all animals realized that a true king should have all the leadership qualities, not only entertainment qualities. Therefore, another meeting was held, and Lion met the king. The moral of the story is, to be a good leader, you should have all the qualities. Thank you.
Okay, very good, Santirani. Santirani gi mathangda class 5 tagi amuk lakhotchage. Ahanba oina Toism Daina Chanu Dainagi Mondrang haiba wari isi anthokpinaba kauthokjage.
Ahanba vaktada timbiriba mayam pumnamakku Toism Dainana ikumona khuramjari. Ngasi aina lijagadaba wari asigi mamingdi Mondrang. Wari ase aina lathokjaba matamda soikiba langkiba yawasu ngakpigani. Haujarage egi wari. Thaina mamangaida khunggang amada tomba kauba nupa ama khakrerami. Mahak asi yamna tanba nupa ni. Nongma mahakna hairami. Aigi sanbi achouba ama leibadudagi tholakpa sangomgi paisaduna aina sanbi ani leraba. Haujati pulapna sanbi ahum sure. Sanbi ahumdagi tholakpa sangomgi paisana sanbi ahum leraba. Pulapna sanbi taruk sure. Ai paisa yamna paire. Tanja aduda mahaki nupi rani lebangna saba jafu kaya ama makota thongduna lagrami. Madu ubada tombana hangrami. Karigino nangna lebangna saba jafu adu puraga lagribadi. Rani na khumlami. Sanbi achobadagi tholakpa sangom phyamdubu karai thamse haibano. Tomba ngahak khali adu bhari. Chumi nang haidu yamna chumba wafam amani. Rani na makata sale. Akoina ngahandagi thagungiba sangomda ipamda khara bigisibo. Wahai adu tabale tomba do khang sao kari aigi sangomdugi aigi sanbidugi sangomdugu nangna napam pijeba haiduna makhada taba chei ama paikhatuna
Chafu to Gaiber, Matawadu, whether Rani do Matasana by the head. Mangzeri, Chafu is Silunia to Gai created Mangzeri, Chafu is Silunia to Gai. Tomba to Songing Man Kitanam, Chafu to Gaiber, wherever Matung Mahak in the Pirani was Sukuram. Rani and Donaman Kitan Lauramin, we must see it, Haiduna. Tanzadu the Tumbaga Lunatinaba, Mamanaba, Amakami, Mamina Raze. Raza Sadumato, the Sensala Luna Katumi. Karino talked to Mananga, it's a Pirani to the state in a Pukan the Kalibati. Toman Haragami, Itanam Guyani Reone. I guess Henrido, Adugis home, Dubumana, Mapapi to say this stuff with a big ten, and Chapuzi to buy any march of Fubani. Mother, Adu Razes Nam Harami. Adu is new to Pazapazan on the Viradro, the guy who may whenever Adu knowing a side they hide a Sandia Joba, can do the Amtabu de Karayuni. Ral Tombana Harami, us cry, then on later, Sanbi labor late, me on the Gisapu, the leg of any. Why do the Razes the looking them stove sounding them to do? Nasima Hangarani, the Fuki Badoning single tuna Tomana Pariba, Jayado Piro Haram. Tomba nang hang na pari ba chaya do ingon na piramo. Tomba thaksala na chaya do Rajesh na pyramid. Rajesh na chaya do log na tom da furami. Tomba do naman kina naimi tao kay nuni. Tomba do mamay suktuk do na harami. Kari gino itaw nang na ingon da marami chachay do na chaya do ni bukan na kalay bati. Rajesh na thaksala na dong kulami. Kari gino hay ba da nang gilay driba sandi do na ay natazaba hinjang na bigay do loy nga sa thona. Wahai adu tabra tumba do mahang na tawgiba maran mahang na apang thanga khudokibado ningsing loraga yamni kai jarami matang asida wari asilo sanjare wari asidagi koina khangminagadabati akhoi gi oidriba pot amagi damak mingoda sekhen piro damni hainu na thamjani matang asida thaga jari mya nabu
Dainadagi yam phazaba wari amakhak taminakre ko mathang asidi Kangabam Vidyalakshmi Devi Lupa Chongagi Loksing Hari Bawari Simuk Tamina Rasi Mathangda Sago Sem Sylvia Sem Saraga Lebiro
Han Magda Timbigo Mayam Puno, Ikatina, Dogalina, Ikono Kuramjari, I give me Kangabam Vidyalakshmi Devi, I give Mahidi Tana Mangasubani. See any Zagadori Bawari Asigmami, Lupa Chongagi Loksing, I know Wari Asikiba Matamida. So Kilanki Bayarobusu Mayamna Mapiu, I give worry as a holder again. Sahara Amada, Yam single Nupa Amalere, Nupa Aduna, Nikudini, Lupa Chonga Loga, Losing Mamma Pibirim, no Madi, Magi Manata, Lalunitito when Nupa Amala Amu, Adu Lupa Chonga, Adu Bina Hirami. I still Losing Amata Pibiu, Hiding a Hirami, Matam Masida, Yam single Nupa Aduna, Lupa Adu lower than a Hirami. Nasita whatever tabaki nasita pupo, Hayangi Kakanu, Haydun Hiram, Wahayasita Bada, Delun Nupado, Yamna, Amasum Matonda Kanjari, a Suglaka Wasida, Kaigi no mana, the person loaded the head, Kajadina Makayuma, Kamayan Hankiram. Hata Magi Matunda, Makogi Sahara Duda, Mikey over posting Yamna Yaraba, Jahasa Mala, Jahasa do the Yari posting door, Sahara do the lady, but Lelonitito were missing Luna Lerami, Aduba. Nasai, Losing Logo Lakiba, Lelon Banupa Adu Sulerami, Makuna posting Adu label or Bamatunda, Makogi, Tabasuba Singuna, Makogi Parker, Basumam Singuna, Makogi posting the Tanzin Rami. Asum Masum Tanzilakona, Misuta Sempre, Aduba, Makosu, Tanzin Badulo Sile, Makogi, Maratagi, Amana Hirami, Asuna Hiram Magasakirami. Ibungo, Akoin a city, Yamna Ware, Misuta Simpirame, Hayu Matala Aga, Akoinagi Posi Amu, That Hanjan Biramage, Masigi, this why the Suntamamage Haiduna, Takirami. Sahara do the lady Bala Lodito were missing the Tabastuba Sindu, Mayum the Sanapre, Adu a side of Single Laki Banupa, Adu Tabastuba Sindu, Takirami. Mahana Matamasida and Zingam, Madudi, Mahana Halo Single was a Lubada, Hirakibawa, Masita, whatever Tabamasita, Hayangi Kakan, Hibadun Zingam, Maramasina, Mahana 6 tubers in Dukoduna. Sumanga do the lady reporting a door in the Tanzan Harmi. Tanzan Badu Lore, Makosu Sakre, Makotu Sag is since I told to Nakiani. A him ado, Yamna Kag or Raga Luna Nung Turami, Nung Subana and Maramoraga, my deposit or Banina,
ꯑꯇꯩ ꯂꯂꯣꯟꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯌꯥꯔꯝꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡ ꯂꯧꯕ ꯂꯥꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯉꯥꯜꯂꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯇꯣꯝꯇ ꯈꯟꯖꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯨꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯥꯜꯂꯤꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯄꯥ 500 ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯀꯟꯕꯤꯔꯛꯈꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯥꯟꯈꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯂꯧꯖꯔꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯍꯧꯒꯗꯕ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯇꯧꯊꯣꯛꯎ ꯍꯌꯦꯡꯒꯤ ꯈꯥꯛꯀꯅꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯅꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ
ꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯌꯥꯂꯛꯁꯃꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯀꯣ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯃꯣꯔꯦꯜ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯁꯒꯣꯜꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯤꯜꯚꯤꯌꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯊꯥꯖꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯂꯥꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯅꯕ ꯀꯧꯊꯣꯛꯆꯒꯦ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯐꯔꯖꯅꯥ ꯏꯛꯕꯥꯜ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯔꯣ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯒꯨꯔꯨ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯇꯤꯟꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯄꯨ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯏꯀꯣꯝ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯁꯤꯜꯚꯤꯌꯥ ꯁꯒꯣꯜꯁꯦꯝ ꯀꯧꯏ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯍꯩꯒꯤ ꯊꯥꯛ 5 ꯁꯨꯕꯗ ꯇꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯅ ꯊꯥꯖꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯩ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯂꯥꯟꯊꯣꯛꯆꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯁꯣꯏꯈꯤꯕ ꯂꯥꯟꯈꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯅ ꯉꯥꯛꯄꯤꯒꯅꯤ ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ 2 ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯨꯅ ꯇꯤꯟꯅꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯃꯨ ꯀꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯉꯧ ꯀꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯉꯥꯡ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯂꯥꯏꯁꯨ ꯃꯆꯦꯠ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯇꯝꯂꯛꯇꯕꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯦ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯗꯣ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯎꯖꯥꯎ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯐꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯋꯥꯇꯥꯏ ꯇꯧꯅꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯍꯧꯗꯣꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯇꯥꯎ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯏꯁꯤ ꯀꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯨꯏꯔꯦ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯃꯅꯥ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯇꯝꯃꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯊꯕꯛꯇꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯏꯇꯥꯎ ꯍꯌꯦꯡꯃꯛ ꯆꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯊꯤꯔꯨꯁꯤꯕ ꯑꯉꯧꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯇꯥꯎꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕꯗꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯨ ꯊꯤꯔꯒ ꯀꯝꯗꯧꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯇꯝꯗꯣꯏꯅꯣ ꯑꯃꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯋꯥꯒꯅꯨ ꯏꯍꯩꯗꯨ ꯈꯖꯤꯛꯇꯪ ꯍꯩꯔꯒ ꯊꯕꯛꯇꯨ ꯁꯨꯔꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯔꯦꯗꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯉꯥꯜꯂꯒ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯊꯤꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯌꯨꯝ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩ ꯄꯥꯟꯈꯔꯦ ꯃꯊꯪꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠꯅꯤ ꯅꯣꯡ ꯄꯨꯛ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯉꯥꯟꯕꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯗꯨ ꯂꯝꯕꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯗ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯃꯈꯛꯇꯪ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯅ ꯍꯪꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯇꯥꯎ ꯅꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯈꯔ ꯇꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯁꯛꯈꯪꯗꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯣꯏ ꯏꯇꯥꯎ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯥꯎꯕꯜ ꯀꯧꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯥꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯌꯨꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯅ ꯍꯪꯂꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯃꯇꯥ ꯀꯅꯥꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯆꯞ ꯆꯥꯕꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯁꯨ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯇꯣꯝꯇꯒ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯤ ꯀꯅꯥꯝꯇꯅꯒ ꯌꯦꯠꯄꯤꯕꯖꯥꯠ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯋꯥꯍꯩ ꯈꯔꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯂꯒ ꯆꯠꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯗ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯊꯣꯡꯒꯥꯜꯗꯨ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯌꯧꯕꯒ ꯃꯉꯛꯇꯨ ꯊꯥꯡꯒꯠꯂꯒ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨꯕꯗ ꯃꯥꯡꯒꯣꯜꯗ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯃ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯅ ꯐꯝꯂꯤꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯅ ꯎꯔꯦ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯕꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡꯗ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯝꯂꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯆꯪꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯦꯛꯇ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯂꯨꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯈꯜꯂꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯊꯨꯅ ꯆꯪꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯡ ꯁꯣꯛꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯕꯨ ꯆꯤꯡꯈꯠꯄꯤꯔꯒ ꯊꯧꯖꯥꯜ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯪꯂꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯦ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯅꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯒꯦ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯄꯥꯝꯗꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯂꯤꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯕु ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯏꯍꯩ ꯈꯖꯤꯛꯇꯪ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤꯕꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯨꯟꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯈꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯗꯤ ꯀꯔꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯩꯗꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯔꯩꯕ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯨꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯗꯨ ꯊꯝꯂꯦꯗꯣ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯍꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯃꯆꯦꯠ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤꯔꯝꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤꯅ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯂꯤꯕꯗꯨ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯁꯨꯗꯣꯔꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤꯔꯛꯇꯕꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁꯥꯎꯅꯤꯡꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯉꯧꯗꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯗꯦ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯁꯨꯔꯤꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯅ ꯋꯥ ꯍꯧꯗꯣꯔꯛꯏ ꯏꯇꯥꯎ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣꯕ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯅꯥꯏꯗꯨꯔꯣꯕ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯀꯜꯂꯕ ꯋꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯉꯧꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅꯁꯨ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯔꯝꯗꯦ ꯃꯊ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯁꯨ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯔꯝꯗꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤ ꯏꯇꯥꯎ ꯃꯊꯧ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯤꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯏꯍꯩ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯕ ꯉꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯅꯤ Mahakna haragliba wadu amudi kaya yaninlamde adubu amu wa makhadi tarudre. Mathangi numini amudu amukasu wa haudore. Ita ako rana khalisi karino ba. Angau du wa kumba leitre angau na harakirami. Khangre ita ako rana khalisi ezu. Makhoi ani na ngangnariba saknariba mayam adu ahal adu tadaba nate. Mahaki mabukninda maong khalai. Ayna makhoi ani bu phajinduna asum thamlabadi yararoi ai makhoi ani sibu pochai khara piruraga thadokidaba yadre asi khaladuna ahal aduna makhoi ani bu manaktamna kausilami makhoi ani laklami angaudi mahaki ojagi makong shopna kurumlami aduga amuti madugi ona tainawda sunna hairi ahal kari amuksu ko haibano aikoi khwangsi pole nangi thabak subada mahakna haramliba waduda ahal adu yamna sunungairamde isu ikairami ahal adu sauningbasu koi adubu mahawa makatarudre ahal aduna madugi ona tainabada wa hairi nupa macha nakoi ani nangi ojagida asum lairupase chahi ama pawu studore nakoi su yumda nupi angang haibadu laihoribanina nangi ojagida asum laibadi yararoi Ojana ithau chingmanchibana nakoi ani bu lairi tapiba ngamkidre nakoi ani nangi ojada sauganu nakoi ani da nangi ojana pochai khara khatang pige pot asi harau loksinuko ahal aduna makoi ani da pige khanduna mairian maru kharadi yam cheksina thamlami ahal aduna makoi ani da mairian maru khara puthoraglaga pirami madu ubada Angudi yam harangna ojana pibani haiduna cheksina thamlami aduga amudi yam sauninglami thabak khara surubagi marian maru kharaga piraga thadore haiduna ahal aduna amukasu hairai nupa macha nakoi ani chatloko marian maru khara sina nakoi ani bu ngai handauribani marian maru ani si nakoi ani thausadana tawganuko asi khaladuna hairami angaudi yam harangna maki ojagi makong soktuna kurumlami makhoi ani su mayumda asum tagle angauga amuga gi mayum yoksilagle amugi nupidu mapuroiba laglani tabada thongalda yam harangna ngairaga leirambani adubu amudi isulanglaga changagle mairial maru khara hek piraga thadoradana aina thabak wana sudaruina karisu kana dene asi khaladuna mahak isau langa asumasilai mahaki nupidu yam ngakna yeni mahaki nupidu wa machet na pawa hairandana mahakna puragiba pochaidu mangoldaba thamdabida hingol ton tamna amudu yam sauna laglaga marial maru singado sauman khraduna laktuna langkirami somdana amogi nupisu amugi nupigomna mapuroiba laglani tabada thongalda yam nungaina harauna leirami angodi yam harauna laglami Angau na hek yorapaga mahaki nupi haraglami nupi ojana aikoi gini haiduna marial maru khara pirei marial maru asi hingol tamna thajilusi asi khaladuna hek halakpaga ojana pirakpani khanduna harau na marial maru sing ado thajin khirami matam khara haukre angau gi hingolda sana marial pitak tawba kaya ama salare aduga amugi hingoldana Marial mi ama mukchang bayaba chawwa masalari madu ubada amudi yam ngaklami angaudi nunti numit kudigi Marial do manga taruk yonbada sel yamna paiba mi haibadu oikhare amudi kari wakhal abano khangdi thang ama paiduna mahaki hingol tamna laklaga Marial adugi mathakta hekta chongkhatlaga yandara pahorakbada Marial manung adudagi hanuba macha amadang thuklaglaga mangonda hairami Hey, nupa, Marial manungda ay yawi habsi nang khangdaba. Asuna harapaduda amudu yam ngakna hibu ngakbu tawraga yam munna yengaga lay. Hanuwaduna harami, thazabana afabani, thazabana fatabani. Wahay kharasi haramlaga hanuwa machado para jatkirami. Amudu yam nangaklami, amuna khali, kaino intahibo, kaino intahibo, asi khaladuna layhaure. Angaudi mahaki ojana haibada thajarubanina sana marial pitak tawba kaya ama statuna nungayay fana pankhare aduga amudi adumak nang lehaure ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯄꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀꯁꯨ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯥꯎꯇꯥꯛꯇꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯗꯥꯏꯗ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯒꯨꯔꯨ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯂꯃꯟ ꯊꯥꯖꯕ ꯊꯝꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯐꯕ ꯉꯥꯛꯇ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯄꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀꯁꯨ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ
ꯁꯤꯜꯚꯤꯌꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯈ꯭ꯔꯦꯀꯣ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 5ꯒꯤ ꯂꯥꯁ ꯄꯥꯔꯇꯤꯁꯤꯄꯦꯟ ꯐꯔꯖꯅꯥ ꯏꯛꯕꯥꯜꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯣꯋꯤꯡ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯇꯤꯇ꯭ꯌꯨꯠ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯁꯤ
Good morning, everyone. I am Farzana Iqbal. I study in class 5. The name of my story is Showing Gratitude. We have heard of the Second World War. When the Second World War was broke out, India and Manipur were ruled by the British. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was one of the great freedom fighters of India. He was born on Cuttack, 23rd January 1897. He left India and fell to Japan. There he formed the Indian National Army with the help of the Japanese. They decided to defeat the British in India and regain its independence. The INA entered India through Manipur. When they reached Moirang, they were tired as they had traveled a long way. But they were determined and disciplined. Many soldiers fell sick and lost their life. From Moirang, the army proceeded towards Imphal, the capital of Manipur. The soldiers encountered much difficulty on the way. They did not have any food to eat and many of them fell sick. They also suffered heavy casualty as they lacked manpower and arms. At this juncture, the people of Manipur extended hospitality and helped the INA and Japanese soldiers. They were given food and shelter. The Japanese soldiers appreciated the way Manipuris treated them, but they did not have anything to return. The Manipuris did not expect anything in return and continued their services. There was the first battle near Maibam Noktasing. This is near Oinam. Most of the Japanese were killed. Many were wounded. These Japanese soldiers were burned near the foothills of Maibam Noktasing. To remember those soldiers, a peace memorial called India Peace Memorial was erected at the foothills of Maibam Noktasing. Every year, the brave families and relatives of Japanese soldiers come to Manipur to pay tribute to their forefathers. They still remember the help given by the Manipuris to their forefathers. The moral of the story is we have to show gratitude to our freedom fighter. Thank you all.
ꯏꯝꯐꯥꯜꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯣꯋꯤꯡ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯇꯤꯇ꯭ꯌꯨꯠ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ INA ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯟ ꯅꯦꯁꯅꯦꯜ ꯑꯥꯔꯃꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯒ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯅꯤꯡꯁꯤꯡ ꯈꯨꯕꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯅꯝꯕꯣꯜꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯝ ꯂꯣꯛꯄ ꯆꯤꯡꯗ ꯁꯥꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯀꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯃꯨꯠ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯤꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯇꯥꯔꯛꯄꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 6 ꯀꯣ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 5 ꯂꯣꯏꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 6 ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯂꯧꯊꯔꯛꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯔꯒꯦ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 6ꯇ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 6 ꯀꯣꯟꯇꯦꯁꯇꯦꯟꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯨꯝꯅꯥꯝ ꯊꯟꯗꯔ ꯀꯣ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯂꯤꯒꯗꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗ ꯗ ꯊ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯃꯦꯖꯤꯛ ꯄꯦꯄꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯌꯨꯝꯅꯥꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯟꯗꯔꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯃꯥꯂꯦꯝꯒꯥꯟꯕꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯌꯨꯝꯅꯥꯝ ꯊꯟꯗꯔ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯗ ꯊ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯃꯦꯖꯤꯛ ꯄꯦꯄꯔꯁꯦ delivered.
Yes, sir. So, hello everyone. Good morning, sir. And my name is Thunder. I'm from Class 6, and today my story is based on a Japanese folktale. The name of my story is The Three Magic Paper. So, let me start. Long, long ago in Japan, there was a boy whose name is Momotaro. He is an orphan. So, he lived in an orphan temple in a snowy mountain. One day, when he looked out of the window, he saw snow are falling everywhere, and there were a lot of plumpkins. He wanted to eat them, so he asked to his master, "Please, master, can I go out and have some plumpkins? Please, master." His master replied, "No, you cannot go out because there was a mountain witch in this area. Once she gets you, she will eat you." But Momotaro is still annoying. Please, master, please. I just want to eat them. And finally, his master agreed. He said, yeah, you can now go, but don't go so far. And take this free magic paper. Whenever you have to pass a misfortune, this free magic paper will help. Then Momotaro happily ran away, playing, eating the plum beans, running, jumping, sliding from mountain. Was so happy. Then suddenly, an old woman came toward him, and she said, "Boy, you're from the orphan temple, right?" Momo replied, "Yes, across with us." He said, "Do you want to eat more tastier plum beans? I have more tasty plum beans on my home." Momo agreed, and he came along with the old lady. When he reached the old lady house, he started eating the plum beans. He said, "Granny, these plum beans are so tasty than I ever ate. These are so delicious." Then suddenly raining started, and it is evening time. So the old woman called, "Boy, can you go to your temple tomorrow because raining started and night is coming?" Momo agreed, and he fell asleep. When he woke up, he heard some unique voice from the bed. It sounds like the old woman was the real mountain. The old woman was the real mountain. And after all, the old woman was the real mountain. And she had planned to eat Momotaro. But Momotaro didn't take it serious. He asked to himself, "What the heck was the rain said to me? I cannot understand anything." Then suddenly he heard the old woman is laughing. When he noticed that the old man was the mountain, he immediately ran to his bed and stayed like asleep. And the witch looked to a mirror and said to herself, "Ha ha ha! I'm so beautiful. My 2 horns, my hair, I'm so beautiful. Ha ha ha!" But Momotaro is still scared. He don't know what to do, and he remembered his master gave him free magic pepper. And he acting to the witch, he said, "Granny, my eyes are so annoying. Can I go and wash my face? Please, Granny, my eyes are so annoying." The witch replied, "No, keep quiet. You cannot go because the water is too cold." But Momotaro is still annoying. "Please, Granny, my eyes are too annoying." And after all, the witch agreed him. He said, "Yeah, you can now go, but don't take so time and take this rock with you. Whenever you have done, call me. I will pull you, and you are gonna be my tedious lesson." And when Momotaro reached the bathroom, he used his first magic paper, and he granted it. Magic paper. Whenever the witch called you, just say, "Wait a moment," like my voice, and he ran away from the back door. But the witch still calling him, "Are you over? Are you over?" But it always sounds, "Wait a moment, wait a moment." And finally, the witch was so angry, so she kicked the door, and she realized that Momotaro ran away from the back door. She chased after him so hardly, and she finally found Momotaro. When Momotaro noticed that the witch chasing him, he used his second magic pepper, and he granted a witch. Magic pepper made a huge mountain, and suddenly there was spawned a huge mountain. The witch was trapped on it. She climbed the mountain so hardly. She was very tired, but she still never gave up. She chased after him, and she slid from the mountain and chasing after him. When Momotaro noticed that the witch still chasing him, he used his third and the last magic paper, and he granted a witch. Magic paper make a huge flag so the witch can be trapped. And suddenly there was spawned a huge flag. The witch was trapped on it. She said, "What do you do in this area? I cannot swim properly." But she still never give up. She is still swimming. She is still swimming so hardly, never give up chasing after him. And finally, Momotaro saw the temple. He ran into it, and he saw his master eating rice. So he asked to him, "Please, master, save my life from the witch. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat by her." And his master said, "Go hide under the box." And after a few moments, the witch appears, and she said to the master, "Do you ever see a child running there?" The master replied, "No, I don't see anything." The witch closely looked at the rice cake. She said, "Can I have some rice cake? These are my favorite fruit, and from long time I didn't eat. Please, can I have some The master said, yeah, you can have it, but you have to give me a favor. The witch like, what's favor? The master said, I heard you are very powerful. Then if you want to show yourself more powerful, can you turn into a big giant? The witch said, it is very simple for me. She go out of the temple and she turned into a big giant. And she said, look how powerful I am. The master spoke, okay, I know I saw you are very powerful, but it is just a simple test. If you want to show yourself more powerful, then can you turn into like an ant? The witch said, it is also very simple for me. The master said, okay, then show yourself. The witch turned into very small, like an ant. And she said, look how powerful I am. And the master closely looked at the witch and he said, ha ha ha, you are now trapped in my plan. The witch said, like, what? The master said, you are trapped in my plan. Now he put some soya bean sauce to the witch. The witch like, what do you do with my eyes? I cannot see anything. You're so hot, I cannot see anything. What do you do with my eyes? And finally, the master picked up the witch, smashed her and killed her, and he started eating his wife's cake. And after a few moments, Momotaro came toward him and said, thank you, master, very much. You saved my life from that witch. Thank you, master, very much. And from that day, the mountain witch was dead. So Momotaro and the other orphans living on the temple, along with the people living on the snowy area, live a happy life. The moral of the story is that whenever you have to face a misfortune, even you are very scared, just be calm down and use your brain every time.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯨꯝꯅꯥꯝ ꯊꯟꯗꯔꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯊ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯃꯦꯖꯤꯛ ꯄꯦꯄꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯐꯖꯔꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯑꯊꯣꯛꯄꯝ ꯃꯥꯂꯦꯝꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤꯀꯣ ꯃꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯔꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯂꯤꯍꯜꯂꯁꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯒꯗꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯦꯔꯤꯟꯗꯥ ꯂꯣꯡꯖꯝ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯣꯀꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯊꯣꯛꯄꯝ ꯃꯥꯂꯦꯝꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯗꯣ ꯂꯤꯔꯣ ꯇꯥꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯃꯛꯇꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯏꯀꯣꯛꯅꯧꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯑꯊꯣꯛꯄꯝ ꯃꯥꯂꯦꯝꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 6ꯇ ꯇꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯂꯤꯖꯒꯗꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯠ ꯅꯥꯝꯃ ꯎꯔꯝꯗꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥꯅ ꯃꯥꯕꯨ ꯄꯥꯝꯗꯦ ꯍꯪꯒꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯁꯨꯔꯒ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡ ꯄꯨꯅꯅꯕ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯃꯆꯥꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯇꯝꯅꯕ ꯄꯩꯁꯥ ꯇꯥꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯒ ꯃꯆꯥꯗ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯀꯧꯔꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥꯅ ꯃꯨꯟꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯝꯃꯒ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯆꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯈ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯃꯃꯥꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯉꯥꯜꯂꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯅꯃꯥꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯠ ꯅꯥꯝꯃ ꯌꯥꯎꯗꯦꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯛꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯏꯀꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯑꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯃꯥꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯆꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯏꯀꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯄꯤ ꯅꯪ ꯁꯤꯈꯤꯕꯅꯦꯅ ꯐꯠꯇꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯊꯤꯅ ꯆꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯗꯣ ꯋꯥ ꯈꯨꯝꯃꯛꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯄꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯄꯥꯟ ꯂꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯐꯪꯅꯕ ꯑꯩ ꯆꯠꯇꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯄꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯄꯥꯟ ꯂꯝꯗ ꯇꯝꯕ ꯆꯠꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯈꯔꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯐꯪꯉꯦ ꯊꯕꯛꯇꯣ ꯐꯪꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯎꯅꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯨꯍꯣꯡꯉꯦ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯒ ꯃꯌꯨꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯃꯌꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯂꯩꯔे ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯅ ꯏꯈꯪ ꯈꯪꯍꯧꯗꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯣꯡꯗ ꯂꯦꯞꯄꯝꯕꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤꯅ ꯀꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯄꯥꯅ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯣ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯊꯣꯡꯗ ꯂꯦꯞꯄꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯨ ꯀꯤꯍꯜꯂꯤꯕ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯥꯟꯊꯣꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯅ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯑꯣꯟꯅꯔꯒ ꯆꯪꯉꯕ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯠꯈꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯈꯔꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯅꯍꯥꯟꯋꯥꯏ ꯇꯝꯃꯝꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯊꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯏ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯊꯤꯗꯨꯗ ꯏꯔꯝꯕꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯊꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯝꯃꯝꯕ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯐꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯇꯣ ꯍꯔꯥꯎ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯅ ꯆꯠꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯤꯇꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕ ꯃꯐꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯠꯄ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯗꯣ ꯉꯔꯥꯡ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯊꯪꯅꯕ ꯏꯃꯨꯡꯔꯦꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥꯗꯣ ꯀꯞꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯆꯤꯊꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯄꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯆꯤꯊꯤꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯇ ꯄꯥꯍꯟꯅꯤꯡꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯆꯤꯊꯤꯗꯨ ꯄꯥꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯃꯥꯅ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ: ꯏꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯏꯕꯨꯡꯉꯣ, ꯏꯃꯥ ꯅꯪ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯆꯨꯞꯄꯗ ꯈꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕꯅꯤ꯫ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯃꯤꯇꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯏ꯫ ꯏꯃꯥꯅ ꯅꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯏꯀꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯤꯕꯗꯣ ꯅꯪ ꯏꯃꯥꯕꯨ ꯋꯥꯔꯧꯒꯅꯨꯀꯣ꯫ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨ, ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯉꯥꯡ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯉꯩꯗ ꯅꯪꯁꯦ ꯒꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯊꯣꯝꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯃꯤꯠ ꯅꯥꯝꯃ ꯎꯈꯤꯗꯦ꯫ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯅꯪ ꯅꯃꯤꯠ ꯅꯥꯝꯃ ꯎꯗꯅ ꯏꯟꯈꯠꯂꯛꯄꯗꯣ ꯑꯩ ꯌꯦꯡꯕ ꯉꯝꯗꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯠ ꯅꯥꯝꯃꯁꯦ ꯅꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯄꯤꯕꯅꯤ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯏꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯠ ꯅꯥꯝꯃꯅ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯊꯤꯕꯤ ꯄꯨꯝꯕꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯆꯩ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯎꯕ ꯉꯝꯃꯤꯕꯁꯦ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯏ꯫ ꯏꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯕꯗꯤ ꯅꯪ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯃꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯤꯊꯤꯗ ꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯆꯤꯊꯤꯗꯣ ꯄꯥꯕ ꯂꯣꯏꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥꯗꯣ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯐꯝꯊꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯨꯠꯅ ꯃꯀꯣꯛꯇ ꯄꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯞꯄꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯃꯇꯥꯡ ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯨꯒ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯂꯧꯁꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯕꯨ ꯅꯥꯝꯃ ꯁꯣꯏ ꯍꯟꯊꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯗꯅꯕ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯃꯄꯥꯅ ꯍꯤꯡꯉꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇꯅꯤ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯃꯄꯥꯕꯨ ꯂꯨꯅ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯅꯕ ꯁꯤ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ꯫ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯄꯨꯂꯞ ꯊꯥꯒꯠꯆꯔꯤ꯫
ꯃꯥꯂꯦꯝꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯕꯀꯣ, ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯀꯅꯥꯝꯇꯒ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯊꯤꯕꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯃꯇꯒ ꯀꯣꯝꯄꯤꯌꯔ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯕꯁꯤꯗꯤꯀꯣ, ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯦ꯫ ꯃꯊꯪꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯔꯤꯟꯗꯥ ꯂꯣꯡꯖꯝ, ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯇꯔꯦꯠꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯁꯤ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯂꯚꯂꯤ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯤꯟ ꯃꯦꯔꯤꯟꯗꯥ
ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯨꯞ ꯃꯄꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨ ꯃꯦꯔꯤꯟꯗꯥ ꯂꯣꯡꯖꯝꯅ ꯏꯀꯣꯛꯅꯅ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ꯫ ꯑꯩ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 6ꯀꯤ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔꯅꯤ꯫ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯔꯣꯜ ꯅꯝꯕꯔꯅ 22꯫ ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯅ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯇꯔꯦꯠꯀꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯥ꯫ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯉꯥꯛꯄꯤꯒꯅꯤ꯫ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯄꯥꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ 3 ꯈꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ 3ꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯃꯃꯤꯠꯇ ꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯂꯝꯗꯦ꯫ ꯃꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯋꯥꯖꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯔꯝꯗꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕ ꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯀꯅꯥꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯃꯍꯨꯠ ꯁꯤꯟꯕꯤꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯟꯕꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯋꯥꯖꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯒ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕ ꯗꯨꯠ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯂꯥꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ, ꯅꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯕ ꯅꯤꯡꯖꯕ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯅ ꯎꯕꯤꯔꯦ꯫ ꯅꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯔꯥꯅꯤꯁꯤꯡꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯆꯥ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯂꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯇꯥꯕꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯈꯔꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯥ ꯇꯥꯟꯕ ꯆꯠꯂꯝꯗꯥꯏꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯔꯥꯅꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯏꯕꯨꯡꯉꯣ, ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯡ ꯊꯪꯕ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯔꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯄꯤꯈꯤꯅꯨ, ꯅꯅꯥꯏꯅꯨꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯪꯂꯥꯟꯗ ꯐꯠꯇꯕ ꯈꯨꯗꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯎꯖꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯇꯥꯕꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯔꯥꯅꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯊꯦꯝꯖꯤꯟꯕꯤꯔꯝꯂꯒ ꯑꯋꯥꯡꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯈꯥꯔꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ꯫ ꯃꯈꯥꯔꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯄꯗꯗꯤ ꯁꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯈꯤꯗꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯣꯡꯆꯨꯞ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯄꯣꯛꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯨꯕꯗꯁꯨ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯁꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯈꯤꯗꯦ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯔꯥꯅꯤꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯑꯗꯨ カꯎꯊꯣꯛꯈꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯋꯥꯡ ꯊꯪꯕ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯔꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯋꯥꯡ ꯊꯪꯕꯗꯗꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯁꯥ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯗꯦ꯫ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯃꯆꯤꯅ ꯁꯅꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯈꯣꯡꯅ ꯂꯨꯄꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯁꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯦꯟꯈꯤꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯎꯔꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯐꯥꯔꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯆꯞ ꯌꯨꯡꯅ ꯂꯦꯞꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯗ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯎꯔꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯏꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ, ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯀꯣꯏꯔꯣꯛ ꯀꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯊꯝꯃꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯅꯥꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯀꯣꯏꯔꯣꯛ ꯀꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯊꯝꯂꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯐꯥꯒꯦ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯇꯧꯕꯒ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛ ꯂꯥꯟꯅ ꯆꯣꯡꯈꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯆꯤꯡꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ꯫ ꯃꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯁꯒꯣꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯇꯣꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯤꯡꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯀꯥꯈꯠꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯈꯤꯗꯦ꯫ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯌꯦꯡꯂꯛꯄꯗ ꯈꯥꯡꯄꯣꯛꯁꯪ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯈꯥꯡꯄꯣꯛꯁꯪ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯪꯂꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯗꯤ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯂꯪꯂꯦꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕꯗꯨ ꯎꯔꯦ꯫ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯈꯔ ꯊꯛꯀꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯨꯕꯗ ꯍꯅꯨꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤꯗ ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯔꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ꯫ ꯃꯅꯨꯡ ꯊꯪꯕ ꯀꯥꯔꯣꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯁꯝꯂꯥꯡ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯃꯆꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤ, ꯀꯨꯆꯨꯅ ꯆꯦꯕꯥꯡꯒꯨꯝꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯤꯖꯔꯕꯤ ꯐꯖꯔꯕꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯄꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯄꯗꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯎꯔꯦ꯫ ꯏꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯊꯛꯅ ꯊꯛꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯇꯩ ꯀꯅꯥꯁꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ, ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯋꯥꯅ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯔꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯈꯪꯂꯦ꯫ ꯃꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ, ꯅꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯒꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯨꯕꯗ
nupi aduna sumna khumlaklami rani taret haiba asibu ningthau amagi yadribara haina hairubada ningthau aduna mahaki aram khaurang bakaya do puthokdana nupi aduda hairubada nupi duna yare madudagi nupi aduna haira ami nahaki rani sing adugi mit sing adu aingonda piro hairubada ningthau aduna konungda thuna chatuna mahaki nupi rani taret sing adubu mamit kothokduna surung amada bondi oina thamkhre aduga mit sing adubu puraga nupi aduda pire madudagi nupi aduna mamada asumna hairaklami ima aina konungda laikringaida mit sing sibu nachani khana thambiyu haiduna langlengduna mama ki ngapsamda sijanbiraga makhoi ani konungda chatkre matam khara lairaga rani sing adugi marakta rani atonbi adu machanupa ama fangle machanupa aduna asum chawkhalakpada mahangna surung adu khotpi sanarubada surung adu dagi ahoba ama thengnarure ahoba aduda mahangna thokre madudagi ngahak lairaga chana thaknaba khara puduna laklaga mama tareta pijare asum chawkhalakle angang adusu surung adusu mahangna asum khodokpada nongmada mahangna mari mangarak ti thoktuna laikai adugi chenjau paiba macha masu singa sanaminare aduga nupa macha adudi kanano habadi makhoi kana amatana khangde aduga mahaki matau phagi tawamba matau aduda mahaku chana thaknaba pibi adugo nongadi mahaki ten adu puthokuna wanglaba dollar amagi mathakta khunu khara ure khunu adu mahangna ama kaptuna hatlaga tarakle madudagi sajinupi phatrabi sajinupi aduna ure duga mahangna sumna khalami nupa asi ate kana sunate ningthogi macha nupani haiba mahangna khangle aduga mahaki manai ama kokhatuna nupa asibu kokhalau haina hairuba matamda nupa adu konungda lakle konungda he yoboga nupi aduna sumna hairaklami nangi kunu adu aingonda yolo haiduna hairakpada nupa aduna sumna khumlaklami sidi yonaba nate aiki imam mitang bitareta pijanabani haina hairure madudagi nupi aduna asumna hairaklami o nangi nama aduna nangbu uba pamlam loidro nangi nama gi mit sing adu aina laifam taklage hairubada khunu adu mahangna nupi aduda pirure madudagi mahangna che ama khakta kari no khara igre che aduda sumna hai nupa macha si hek yobaga hatu haina mama haitu haina hai aduga mamagi mapam takuna chatkre nupa macha aduna asum lakpada khangpoksang aduda khangpoksang ama ure khangpoksang ama duda changuba matamda hanubi ama khaglairami hanubi aduda che adu pire che adu hek pibaga mahangna asumna hairaklami nangi mit sing adudi aina pirage aduga mit nama amadi mamang chayolda tahaure haiduna mit sing adu puraga lakle madudagi mahaki mama tare singda ani pire aduga mama aton bidadi mit nama ama khatang pire aduga asumna hairaklami ima nahaki mit namadi nachana bungsi chupa oigani haina hairamlaga Rajkumari aduga hairamle madudagi di mahakna amukachu nupa khunu tiendo paraga khunu hatpa chatkre khunu hatpadu amukasu phatrabi saji aduna ure madudagi asumna khalami nupa macha sina paramaina amuk laklibano haina khalaga amukasu mamangda tawkiba adugumna asumna hairaklami nangi khunu adu yolo aduga ai thauyayoy bipirage haina hairakmi maduda nupa aduna yare madudagi cheda amukasu sumaina iraklami nupa macha si hek yobaga handamukti hatokadabani haina hairure madudagi chedu puraga mahangna khul ama landuna chatle khul adugi miroi sing adu nungsuk nungjanana laibadu ubada mahangna karigino hangrubada ningthaugi macha nupi adu luhong habe yadre maramdi mahakna Rajkumari taret ki macha nupaga luhongani haina haikre madudagi nupa adu konungda chatluba matamda Rajkumari aduna sumna hairaklami ipa ibungona chagi bor fangle haina hairakpadan tilamiba miyam adu harau tayami madudagi mahakna pariba chedu Rajkumari aduna yenge hairubada chapmanaba khuyi da sumneirami nupa macha sina pamliba phau layoibi adu piko aduga nahaki ina nupa macha asibu irik chaibigumna chaigadabani haina ire madudagi nupa aduna chedu puraga hanubi adugi manakta amuka su chatlure madugi wafam iriba wafam sing adu tabada hanubi adu sawning bana lore adubu saubadi ngamjade maramdi mahangna machanupi bu kijai madudagi phauya bi hobam sing adu mahangna takle madudagi nupa adu phauya bi hek pachatkre asum lakpada labuk amagi mayada phauya bi adu haure mahangna phauya bi matonda hauriba achauba phau adubu hektuna chelakpa matamda nakan yet oiromdagi aibu hekpiyun haiduna laurokpaduda mahangna karino haini yenguba matamda nupa machadu kudakta utonduna siki matam khara leiraga hanubi aduna nupa machadu halakmandabaduda kari taurabano haini yengba chatluba matamda nupa machadu utonduna siba leirambaduda mahakna ising khara haijanduna murti ama sare aduga mahaki makutagi I khara chaibiraga nupa machadu amuk hinkhalakle adudagi mahangna lambi sing adu khangladuna phau adu amuk hektuna chatkre madudagi makoi inakhonba sel paiba misak ama di oire aduga mama singna rajkumari aduga luhongbiragi haina khalle madudagi nupa macha aduna rajkumari aduga su luhongbire adudagi Rajkumari aduna saji nupi adubu karamaina maithiba pisige haina khan wakhal kaya ama khare madudagi nongma ningthauda mahangna chak chanabagi damak haijaruba matamda ningthau adu lakle ningthau aduna hek yorakpaga mahaki rani tayet sing adu fajaraba fijol kaya setuna lerambadu ure aduda mahangna chabyungna karinta haidabida leire Rajkumari aduna changsillaklaga ningthau aduda asumna hairaklami Thaudosing asi Patrabi saji aduna thokan bangaktani haina hairubada kudakta saji nupi adubu mangak samlenduna hatkre adudagi makoi nungaina panba oikre wari asina taklibadi mi amabu kanano khangdringaida hekta lausinba mahangna khanbana chumle khanba asini matang asije aigi wari loisinjare
Benda longjamdagi koi rani te ki masanu pa haiba wari ma ta kwa Mathangsi koi lovely queen ki masak phajaba amasung athiba nupi haiba kwa si matangda wari ama amuk taminnerasi duga aroi boina koi livestream single basem sanu leiro ko lovely queen auro
aibu tapi tampiba oza amadi aigi imanabi simbo aina konono krumjari aigi ming lovely queen kawi ai class 6 dagini aigi roll number na 26 ni aina ngasi liza gadaba wari asige mamindi masak phajaba amadi masak thiba nupi wari ni hauzarage aigi wari thai mamangai da ningthau panba lam amada ningthau ama khak leirami ningthau adugi machanupi ani khak leirami machanupi ahal adu kabiya kawi machanupi atombiduna kandani kawi kabiya si mabukchel yamna phaba masakti anum chizarba nupi amani adubu kandani di masak fajarami adu masak fajarabasu mahak migi damakta khande masagi tangda khalami nomadi mapaduna chak sabagi atopa lamdagi mi singsu kauraga chak sanabagi damakta kumai rauma khak thamlami aduda kabiyaga kandani gadu nupa masak fajaba amada urami nupa masak fajaba dudi kandani da tayeng lami kabiyadi masak thi haiduna adum yengbiramde kabiyaduna kandani da Inaw asigi nupa ase masak fajadra yengo haiduna haibada kandani duna ai khange nangdi kasimta yengbirakte engondadi yenglai haiduna mache duda mahangna thina saibirambadu kabiyadu nungaitadana yumdagi tholaklaga jangal amada chalami jangal amada chapada mahangna hanuba ma khaurami hanubaduna jangal duda changro nangi awaba pumna magloi ko ani haiduna hairaklami kabiyadu magi jangal duda andum changrami kabiyaduna jangal da sangbada napi singi marakta saji ama khagnungda palladuna lerami mahaki makhungdo aduda kabiyaduna mahaki mateng pangbiraga saji adu thadok pirami adudagi saji aduna hairak rami ꯊꯥꯒꯠꯆꯔꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯀꯟꯕꯤꯔꯦꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯉꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯅꯪ ꯋꯥ ꯉꯥꯡꯕ ꯉꯝꯕ꯭ꯔꯣꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯋꯥ ꯉꯥꯡꯕ ꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯂꯤꯕꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯐꯪꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯆꯠꯈ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯖꯪꯒꯜꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯆꯪꯂꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯖꯪꯒꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯤꯕ ꯖꯪꯒꯜ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯖꯪꯒꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯪꯕꯗ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯅ ꯉꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧ ꯉꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯈꯔ ꯐꯥꯖꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯐꯥꯖꯤꯟꯕꯗꯨ ꯉꯥꯅꯨꯗꯨꯗ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯔꯝꯂꯒ ꯉꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯁꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯪ ꯊꯥꯒꯠꯆꯔꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯀꯟꯕꯤꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯉꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯋꯥ ꯉꯥꯡꯕ ꯉꯝꯕ ꯉꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯉꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯪ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯑꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯪ ꯆꯠꯆꯔꯣꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯎ ꯑꯀꯪꯕ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯎ ꯑꯀꯪꯕꯗꯨ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯗꯅ ꯄꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯒ ꯄꯨꯈ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗ ꯀꯣꯟ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯣꯟꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯣꯛꯂꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯎ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯩꯊꯕꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯎ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯎ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯑꯣꯜꯂꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯎ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀꯁꯨ ꯀꯟꯕꯤꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯪ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯎ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯎꯀꯛ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯊꯦꯛꯇꯣꯛꯑꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯎ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯎ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯊꯦꯛꯇꯣꯛꯂꯨꯕꯗ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯎꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞꯇꯨ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯁꯤꯗꯤꯅ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯎ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯪꯂꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯎ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯗ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯞ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯄꯥꯝꯕ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯪꯍꯜꯂꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯂꯦ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯂꯕꯗ ꯉꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯉꯥꯅꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯀꯟꯕꯤꯔꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯇꯨ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯂꯧꯔꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯔꯥꯟꯕ ꯊꯧꯗꯣꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯕꯁꯨ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯀꯧꯕꯤꯔꯛꯑꯣ ꯑꯩ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯕ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯣ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯆꯠꯂꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯖꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯊꯤꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯅꯪ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯀꯧꯔꯛꯎ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯂꯒ ꯀꯥꯟꯇꯤꯅꯤꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯉꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯆꯦꯒꯤ ꯑꯍꯣꯡꯕꯗꯨ ꯎꯕꯒ ꯏꯆꯦ ꯅꯪꯗꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯂꯤꯕꯅꯣ ꯅꯪ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯔꯛꯂꯤꯕꯁꯦ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯅꯣꯅ ꯍꯪꯂꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯀꯥꯕ꯭ꯌꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯖꯪꯒꯜꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯊꯧꯗꯣꯛ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯂꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯀꯥꯟꯗꯅꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯜꯂꯛꯃꯤꯍꯧꯗꯅ ꯃꯥꯁꯨ ꯖꯪꯒꯜꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯖꯪꯒꯜꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯅꯨꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ उनरमी हनुबदुना हायरलमी हनुबदुना नंगना अवा नंगी अवाबा लई नंगी अवाबदी अमता लैते नंगी नचे तंगनी वारिबदी ना हायरलमी अइसु अवाबा लैजेबिना मा हायरगा कांदनीदुना कसुंता येंदबिदा अंदुम चलमी अदुदगी सजी अदु अमुकसु nung aduda makhongdu palla lerambadu ubada kandani kasumta khandabida kasumta yengdabida adum mahaki lambi duda adum charami adudagi nganu adusu awaba khutong thibada tabadu uraga kabya adusu kasumta tawbiramdabida adum mahaki lambi duda adum charami kabya aduna ubada wari sanarami nang natra ai iche du yam fazalibase ai du fazahallo na haiduna hairaklami kabya aduna hairaklami kandani duna hairaklami ududa adu uduna sauraduna hairaklami nangna nangi punsida afaba amata tawkhide aduna ai nangonda kasumta piroi na yamna thina chairaklami adudagi kandani duna mahaki aranba punama macche duda chatlaga aibu mtanga piyu che haiduna hairalami adudagi makhoi ani puna nuksinana leiminakre asida moral of the story sidi akoigi isak phajaba haibase akoigi mai kuchuda leibate akoigi thamoigi puchal sengbada leibat thagachari
akoigi lovely queen dagi zawari mtare matang jidi akoi aroi boina ko class 6 ki livestream chinglem badagi puchel seng bahaiba wari maming oiba wari je ko koi tamin naraji ado chinglem ba wari li bhauro koi ta
name is Lashmi Singh and si Myanmar Lidruba Wari Simindi Muktel Singba. Haina Mamangida Gungamagi Jamada Taro Koban Pama Magi Mamaga Magi Mapaga Lerami Oyam the Ligerami Tarona Upaklaga Uyolaga Pashaduna Mungi Chana Taknava Amadi Mama Pabu Shabata Uduna Lerami Nomadi Tarona Mangdagi Upakpa Loiraga Mayunda Mapaga Minaringada Kang Kangodana Koigi Yungi Plang Ahoba Amadagi Aima Matilami Shit Aing Maduna Magi Mapadu Jam Inhalami Mapan Hirami Aigi Ingmasi Panava Asaba Shek Amat Takningi Oda Mapana Haibadu Tarona Takaningami Adubu Mabuk Ningdadi Nuairamde Magi Atangba Shek Adu Magi Ukaklaga Hanga Peshaduna Laibada Yamna Warami Nonganbadagi di mana Mapana Takningi Hairip Shektu Lainangaigi Tabakan Surami Anadagi Haubugi Sanglingan Horagama Tabak Subatalami Mana Tabak Suringaida Tingila Imakai Habsu Hindalami Ma Kumangna Lubami Sing Parang Mandana Magi Kangau Kuyam Kanglami Kang Kangaudana Sing Tabagi Makabalama Tarami Mana Sing Parang Mankitana Mana Pai Jang Adaramaga Sing Tabagi Makola Iba Magaironda Elami Makara Jelava Matunda Sing Tariba Zaraba Waterfall Ama Urami Mana Shindu Ubada Shingi Mahau Natabida Shek Mahau and Yarami Tang Shiki Mahau Yaram Maduda Mana How Manipuna Magi Maparas Take Haiduna Mana Pura Duda Shinadu Halaga Purami Mana Magi Mapada Uda Padu Yam Harawami Magi Timing Yarpada Koigi Yunda Koigi Tangnava Yemala Ami Duga Tangnava Nupiduga Karogi Mapana Shek Adu Tatlami Shek Adu Takpada Tangnava Nupidu Yamna Harawami Duga Hanglami Sigi Shek Kadai Dagino Aina Hangada Karogi Mapana Shek Ubi Wari Punamak Yami Wari du Tapada Idu Gangi Yam Puna Makta Wari du Mirami Makta Gangi Miam Du Shek Adu Takpala Ami Shek Adu Gangi Miam Du Takpada Kirami Bertamatunda Matangi Nonganda Tarona Nan Hogalaga Shek Du Low Batalami Shek Du Low Batada Waterfall Manakida Gangi Miam Lerami Mana Nung Marumandal Lot Laga Jingami Sidi Sunnagi Singni In Sunnagi Ain Singni Shek Nate Haina Hainarami Miam Dina Makoigi Wakalak Halami Tarona Koida Oita Bangangi Aduna Koina Mabu Singida Lantaraba Kanda Singsi Shek Wangani Haina Kanarami Duda Tarona Tabadagi Mana Nung Marumda Lotna Lerami Koi Mungi Mam Sinduna Taru Iba Pangtabada Koina Mahi Gangda Tatnarami Taruna Ni Mam Tatna Kaba Ranta Lehotraba Matamda Mana Shindu Taklaga Yang Dadi Shindu Hanagi Gum Shek Adum Oirami Mana Wakanda Kala Kangi Sigi Shek Asidi Miam Gidi Tunagi Ain Bishini Aigidi Shek Ni Haina Kangami Sigi Taro Amadi Magi Waterfall Wadi Si Koigi Gangi Thoduna Tarami Thoduna Tarogi Mapa Nukiba Amadi Magi Hotnabakan Badu Yang Badamana Yam Harawami Aduga Tarobu Gangi Thoduna Magi Kununga Korami Aduga Kana Lupa Dan Kumpirami Aduga Ikai Kunaba Ulami Udagi Taro Amadi Magi Mapa Yamna Ngaina Nikirami Ay Wari Sigi Morality Mapa Bu Respect to Biba Makoida Behavar Pibiba Amadi Panabakan Mana Mai Pakan
Okay, matang asida category B gi question jare. Matang asidi category C. Haibadi class 7, 8 and 9. Sigi amuk haunaba sem sajage. Category C da lebikadaba just ahumgi maming tauthokjarake. Respected Madam Ronibla, Madam Serju, Sir Krishna Chandra, Hariba, Osa Ahum Sina, Judges Oibigani. Ahan Basidi class 7 degi Lakhatjage, Ahan Baoina, Akoizam Wanglen Angom. Dagi Lamb to the Slaughter, Hari Bawari Asi, Mayampunna Taminarasi.
Hello everyone, I'm Wang Len, and today I will tell an interesting story called Lamb to the Slaughter, and it is written by a British novelist called Roald Dahl. So may I begin my story? There was a woman called Mary Maloney. She was happily waiting for her husband Patrick to come home. She kept looking at the clock. Soon her husband arrived and told him that can I make you anything? What do you want for dinner? Her husband refused everything what Mary said, and instead of that, he grabbed a glass and started drinking in a way Mary had never ever seen before. Mary was surprised to see that. She asked, "Are you okay? Is there anything bothering you? Please tell me." Her husband decided to sit Mary down and told him that I want a divorce with you. That shocked Mary, and it hurt her really, really bad. But she kept quiet and told him that it's almost time for dinner. I will make you a nice warm supper since it's Thursday. She went downstairs and grabbed a leg of lamb and struck her husband's head on the head with the lamb. Her husband was
Wanglen nangi se mute laire, unmute toraga liro.
her husband was dead, but he think that her husband was fallen unconscious and he was instantly dead. Mary didn't know what to do. She was walking to and fro, and she had an idea. She ran to her room, put makeup on her face, and gave a little smile to the mirror. Then she went to the grocery and grabbed some veggies, and she came home. And when she returned home, she was pretending that she didn't know anything, and she called the police. Hello, is this police? Yes, may I help you? Oh yeah, great. My husband Patrick is dead. Can you please come over? The police come, and with two detectives, they were knocking at the door, and the police questioned Mary about what had happened. Mary told that when she returned home from shopping, her husband was fallen dead on the ground. Oh, poor Patrick. And while the detectives were looking further for clues, but it's been a while, they could not find anything. They were all sitting at the library and they were all exhausted. But Mary said, "You guys were great friends to Patrick. Why don't you eat the lamb in the oven I cooked for him?" They said, No, please don't. But please, my husband will be very, very angry if he was here and I didn't offer you guys anything to eat. Please feel free. Mary was the utensils and they were being served by Mary. They ate all of the lamb, but the detectives were talking. Hey Jack, didn't the postmortem report said that Patrick's head's bag was hidden with a very hard and thick object? The other detective said, "Oh yeah, right. What I mean is the murderer could not be walking with such a big thing on the street. What I mean is the thing must be around somewhere. Here is this place." And the other detective said, "Or maybe right under our nose." They heard Mary giggling from the other room. So that's the end of my story. I hope everyone liked it. And the moral of the story is that we should pay close attention to everyone and understand them really well. Thank you.
Okay, Wangendagi yam fazaraba wari amakak taminakhreko. Mathang asidi Prachi Livestream-dagi Greedy Dog hariba wari asimo taminarasi.
Good morning to my respected teachers and my friends. Today I'm going to tell a story that is Greedy Dog. Let's start my story. Once there was a greedy dog. He was hungry. He went to the butcher shop and stole a meat. The butcher ran him to it and the guy does not catch him. The dog ran into the forest and he had to cross the bridge on that way. When he was passing the bridge, he saw a dog's reflection into the water, which had a piece of meat holding in his mouth. He wanted to snatch the dog's meat. When he tried to bark and he opened his mouth, the meat fell into the water. Then he realized that there was no other dog rather than him. It was his reflection. The moral of the story is greed is curse. Thank you.
Okay, very good, Prachi. Next, Changamayum Shelly Devi, Dagi, the Jackal and the Camel. Hariba wari simo taminarasi. Mathangda Lydia Janu semsaraga legiro.
Good morning to my respected teachers, dear judges, the principal of the school, and my dear friends and my dear brothers and sisters. My name is Shelly. I am from class 7 and today I am standing before you to narrate a story about a jackal and a camel. So let's start my story. Once there lived a jackal and a camel. They were good friends. They lived near a river. One day, the jackal came to know that there was a field of ripe melons.
Shelly, continue to do.
Sir, magugde horale.
Yes, you can start from the beginning.
Once there lived a jackal and a camel. Both were good friends. They lived near a river. One day the jackal came to know that there was a field of ripe melons. His mouth watered, but he could not cross the river. So he went to the camel and told him about the melons. The camel was also tempted to eat melons. So he carried the jackal on his back and crossed the river. Both of them reached the field and then they started to eat melons. Then the jackal started howling loudly. Then, hearing the howl of the jackal, the owner of the field came running with a stick and started beating the camel. When the owner of the field has went away, the camel asked the jackal why he had howled. Then the jackal replied, "It is my habit to howl after a heavy meal." Then the camel was silent and both of them returned to the river. The jackal jumped up in the back of the camel. When they were in the middle of the water, the camels started rolling in the water. The jackal said, "Why are you rolling in the water?" The camel replied, "It is my habit to roll in the water after a heavy meal." The jackal realized its fault and he could hardly save himself. The moral of the story is tit for tat, means if you do good to others, the good will return to you. And if you do bad to others, never expect any good in return of that. Bad will surely return to you. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Lydia Chanu Tekcham. Lydia Chanu Tekcham dagi having a best friend haiba wari asi mayam punna taminarasi. Mathangda Jul Nelam. Sem saraga leiro.
Good morning to my respective judges, teachers, and my dear friends. I'm Lydia from class 7. Today I'm going to narrate a story. The name of my story is Having a Best Friend. Two friends walking through the desert. During some point of the journey, they had an argument. One friend slapped the other one in the face. The one who got slapped was hurt, but without saying anything, he wrote in the sand. Today my best friend slapped me in my face. They kept on walking until they found an oasis where they decided to take a bath. The one who had been slapped got stuck in the mire and started drowning. But the friend saved him. After he recovered from the near drowning, he wrote on a stone, "Today my best friend saved my life." The one who had slapped and saved his life asked him, "After I hurt you, you wrote in the sand and now you wrote on a stone. Why?" The other friend replied, "When someone hurt us, we should write in the sand where winds of forgiveness can erase it away. But when someone does something good for us, we should engrave it on a stone where no winds can ever erase it." The moral of the story is, don't value the things you have in your life, but value who you have in your life.
Lydia dagi yam fazaraba wari amakak taminakre. Mathang asidi class 7 gi last part. Jul Nela dagi The Foolish Donkey. Hariba wari simuk taminarasi.
Good morning everyone, I am Junela Sana of class 7. Today I am standing before you all to narrate a story. The title of my story is The Foolish Donkey. Once upon a time, a salt seller used to carry salt bags on his donkey's back to the market every day. On the way, they had to cross a stream. One day, when the donkey was carrying the salt bag, he suddenly tumbled down the stream and the salt bag on his back also fell into the water. Since most of the salt got dissolved in water, and hence the salt bag became very light to carry, it made the donkey very happy. The cunning donkey decided to follow the same trick every day. The salt seller came to know about the cunning plan and soon decided to teach the donkey a lesson for his life. The very next day, the salt seller replaced salt with cotton. Since the donkey played the same trick, assuming that the cotton bag will become lighter. As the cotton became wet, it got heavier and heavier and very difficult to carry. Soon the donkey realized his master's trick and it learned the lesson. The donkey did not perform any such trick in the future and his master was now pleased. The moral of the story is there is no key to success except hard work.
Okay, we Junela dagi ko. The Foolish Donkey have a worry amatare, we gada apang mokenoji ko. Si matang da magi wari tare matang di koi class 7 gi lore tang da class 8 ki ko class 8 ki ahan ba koi participant si koi Elina lai sang tem ko mana koi magi story ji maming di The Glass of Milk khai ko mai matang sem sa lai da aribam kule sorry to Elina go you can start.
Good morning everyone, my respected teachers and my cheerful friends. Today I am going to tell you all a story about Good morning my respective teachers and my cheerful friends. I am Elna Leshantem from class 8, row number 5. Today I am going to tell you all a story about a glass of milk. There was a poor boy who made a living by selling various things to pay for his school. One day he felt very hungry and realized that he couldn't even walk a few steps. So he decided to ask for some food at a nearby house. He knocked the door and saw a young girl at the doorstep. He asked the girl for a glass of water. The girl understood that he was hungry and offered him a glass of milk. And after he drank the milk, he asked the girl how much he had to pay for the milk. But the girl just simply smiled and said, "You can repay me with kindness." At that moment, the boy didn't understand what she meant, but he walked away happily. Years passed by. Now the young girl, who had now grown to be a young lady, fell seriously ill.
he was taken to a big hospital for her treatment. Dr. Kevin, a renowned specialist, was called by the hospital to examine her, and as soon as he entered the room, he immediately recognized the lady. He looked after her for years and months with a lot of care and kindness, and at last, the young lady was finally cured. Everyone praised the doctor while the young lady was quite afraid about the hospital bill as she couldn't afford to pay it. Later after that, Dr. Kevin asked the hospital to send him the bill to him instead. After receiving the bill, Dr. Kevin wrote a note on it and sent it to her, and with a lot of fear, she opened the bill, and her eyes filled with tears with happiness. She found the bill cancelled, but it wasn't what she was happy about. Then she read the note that says, "Bill paid years ago with a glass of milk." So the story ends here, and the moral of the story is one kind begets another. Thank you for listening.
Okay, Elinana yam wari glass of milk ko. Ama liga matungda next is Aribam Tuleswari. Maki koi wari maming the wise man. Aribam Tuleswari hek matamda koi Narengbam Silpa Devi sem sadon lairo ko. Tuleswari, you can start.
So good morning everyone. My name is Tuleswari Aribam from class 8, and today I'll be presenting a story. The name of the story is The Wise Man. So let me start the story. The Wise Man. Once upon a time there was a king in India, King Raghavendra, who simply loved to solve puzzles. One day he received a gift from his best friend, King Bilasrao. It was a puzzle. In that puzzle there was 3 dolls, and a letter saying, "See if you can find a difference in the 3 dolls." Then the king wrote a reply to the King Bilasrao saying, "Thank you, Bilas, and I shall send you the answer soon." Then the king laid out the 3 dolls on the table and examined them. He spent hours measuring every aspect of dolls, but he could not find no difference at all between them. The king wondered what was missing, and finally, after much thought, he summoned the wisest man in the court and told him if he could find any difference between the 3 dolls. The wise man examined the 3 dolls in every possible detail, but he too could not make out no difference in them, and told the king that the King Bilasrao might be joking. But the king said that his friend never jokes when it comes to puzzles and riddles. Just then the court jester, who was just passing by, heard this and entered the room and asked what was the problem. Then the king said if he could find any difference in the 3 dolls. So the jester tried but could not find no difference at all. The king was so desperate that he allowed anyone who wished to try to solve the puzzles, but nobody succeeded. One day an old storyteller was brought in the presence. The old storyteller said, "I hear there's a puzzle that bothers you. Your Highness, can I try?" Then the king mockingly said, "So storytellers solve puzzles now, do they?" Then the storyteller told the king, "Maybe this story is about a puzzle, Your Highness, or maybe there is a story in the puzzle." Then the king let the storyteller try. The storyteller asked the king for the 3 strands of hair and gave it to her one by one. Then the storyteller inserted 1 strand of hair on the first doll through the ear, and it came out through the mouth. Then she inserted another strand of hair on the second doll through the ear, and it came out through the another one. And she inserted another strand of hair in the third doll through the ear, but it didn't come out. The king said, "The difference, what does this mean?" Then the storyteller said, "The first doll is the storyteller. What she hears, she passes to others. The second doll belongs to the fool. What she hears goes in one ear and out from the other. And well, the third doll is the wise man. She listens, taking in every word and keeping it deep within her heart." Then the king thanked the storyteller and rewarded her handsomely. The moral of the story is we should first decide what to do with a piece of information, whether to keep it a secret or to ignore it or to share it. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.
Okay, akhoi Aribam Tuleswari dagi The Wise Man haiba akhoi wari matare ko. Matang akhoi class 6 ka oina last oina ko akhoi Narengbam Silpa Devi oina The Little Visitor haiba wari je taminarase. Silpa
goddess Vishnu Devi so that she might bless them with children. They had to fast a whole day. The only cooking allowed in the house that day was to be offered to the goddess at the end of the ritual. The priest started puja at the blessing. Suddenly, a little girl came to the first house. She called out to the people inside. When the lady of the house came out, the girl said, "Mother, I'm very hungry. Please, can you give me something to eat?" There was a lovely glow in the little girl's face, but the lady was too busy to notice it. She impatiently told the girl, "Can you see that? I'm too busy with a function. Do you find anyone else to bother? Go away." The girl smiled and said, "Went to the next hall. Here again," she called out to the people inside. When the lady of the house came out, she said that she was very hungry and asked for something to eat. Thus, this lady was very kind for her, one lovely girl with a glowing face. She asked her to wait till the puja was over. But the girl said, "Mother, I was very hungry. Please, can you give me something now?" The lady was very troubled. She asked whether she could give her some money. The girl smiled and said, "I'm not a good girl. I just want a little food." She made the little girl sit down and went on. She did not have the heart to tell the little girl that there was nothing in the house except a box to be opened to the garden. With a troubled heart, she went to the prayer room and said to her mother, "I just cannot send the little girl away hungry. I'm going to give her the food that I made for you. I'm so sorry. After the child leaves, I will buy some food to offer you. Please forgive me." He then went out and lovingly blessed the little girl. When the girl finished eating, she smiled at the lady, bore her, and went away. When the ladies' husband and the priest found out what had happened, they were very angry with her. Her mother looked upon her, saying, "Her work was in vain." That night, the lady had a dream. The little girl appeared in her dream and said, "I am Vishnu Devi. I came to you as a little girl to get your future restaurant. A lovely, intelligent, good-hearted child will be born to you as my gift." She woke up, overjoyed. Her husband also got up. He too had the same dream. As the goddess promised, a lovely child was born to them, and the moral of my story is, survives to man is like survives to God.
Okay, so fadagi yam phazaraba wari amakhak taminakre. Mathang asidi class 9 dagi amuk lakhotchage. Ahanba participant Tekcham Melody Devi. Melody dagi, a father learns a lesson from his son. Haidi bawari asi amuk taminarasi. Mathangda Sania Sairem ready tawraga leiro.
Good morning, my respected judges, my teachers, and my dear friends. This is Melody from class 9. Today I'm going to narrate a story. The title of the story is A Father Learns a Lesson from His Son. Let me start my story. Once upon a time, there was a man in a village. His name was Velen, and he was a carpenter. His mother died long time back. His aged father, Kuftan, lived with Velen. Kuftan was very weak. He could not even work very well. He was so weak because Velen did not give him enough food. Velen given his father a small earthen plate. Even a small quantity of rice on the plate appears to be much. Velen was a bad man. He was drunkard also. After taking drinks, he abused his father badly. Velen had a son. His name was Raju. Raju was just 10 years old. He was a very good boy. He loved his grandfather. He had a great respect to his grandfather. He did not like his father's attitude and characters because he was treating his grandfather cruelly. One day, Kuftan was eating his food on the plate that his son had given to him. Suddenly, the plate fell on the floor and broke into pieces. The food also fell on the floor. Valen was working at the other end of the room and saw the broken pieces. He was very angry with his father and used harsh words to abuse his father. His father felt bad about what happened. He was sorry about his mistake. But Valen's word wounded him very deeply. Valen's son Razu saw that, but he was not powerful to stand in support of his grandfather. The next day, Razu took some of his father's carpentry tool and a piece of wood. He used the tool to make a wooden plate. His father saw him working. "What are you doing, Razu?" he asked. "I'm making a wooden plate," he replied. "A wooden plate? What for?" he asked. "I'm making it for you, father. When you grow old like my grandfather, you will need a plate for food. The plate made from mud may break easily. Then I may scold you severely. So I want to give a wooden plate to you. Then the plate would not break easily." The carpenter was shocked to hear this. Only now he was realized his mistake. His father was kind to Valen. He had looked after the Valen very well. Now he was old. Valen was treating his father severely. He was now very sad about his own behavior. He realized his mistake. He was then became a different person. From that day, Valen was treating his father with a great respect. He gave up drinking too. Valen learned a lesson from his own son. The moral of the story is we should honor our parents all the time. It is our duty. It brings us their blessing. Thank you.
Okay, Melody mama mapabu yamna luna tawgadabani haiba magi moral amga loinana fajarba wari ama taminakhre ko. Mathang asidi Sania Sairemdagi be good to your enemies hariba wari simuk taminarasi. Mathangda Eris Ningthozam sem saraga leiro.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sania Saramjan of class 9. Today I am going to narrate a story. The name of my story is Be Good to Your Enemies. Long ago, there lived a little child named Ram. He was a very good boy. He was good in studies, obedient to his parents, more intelligent than many other boys in his class, and kind to everyone. And everyone also loved him. There was another boy named Rahul who studied in the same class as Ram. But unlike Ram, he was not good in studies and always liked to play during school hours. He misbehaved his parents and even ill-treated Ram. He always tried to put Ram down and belittled him before other kids in the class. But no matter what he did, Ram's grades kept getting better and better, whether in studies or in sports. Ram kept getting accolades from everywhere. On Ram's ninth pen as a gift from his parents. He brought it to school to take down the notes given by the teacher in class. This was a very beautiful pen. When Rahul saw it, he was jealous of Ram. He asked Ram, "Hey, where did you get that? Did you buy it?" Ram replied, "My parents gave us a birthday gift to me." Rahul was overwhelmed with anger and jealousy. The bad boy that he was, he never got any present from his parents. He decided to steal Ram's pen. During recess, when everyone had gone out of the class, he opened Ram's bag and took out his pen. Then he hid inside his bag and went out to have his tiffin. When Ram came back and could not find his pen, he informed his class teacher and ordered the class monitor to search in every children's bag. The missing pen was soon found out
from Rahul's bag, and the furious teacher asked the errand boy, "Now Rahul, what do you have to say about it?" Rahul was in tears. He had nothing to say. When Ram saw Rahul crying, he took pity on the boy. The kind boy that he was, he had no ill feeling against his classmate. He requested his class teacher not to take any action against Rahul, and that his missing pen was also found. This opened Rahul's eyes. He could now see what a good boy Ram was. He asked for forgiveness from his teacher and Ram. From that day, they became friends, and Rahul gradually changed himself as good as Ram. Everyone began to love Rahul, and Ram was proud of his new friend. Despite being hurt of Rahul, Ram gave him only love in return. This is how we should treat our enemies. Who knows, one day our behavior may change themselves for the better. Moral of the story: don't hurt someone, even if he hurts you. Be good to all. Thank you.
Sanya Sairemdagi yam fazaraba wari amakak taminare ko. Mathang asidi akoi storytelling competition sigi last participant su oriba Aris Ningthozambo Koksunjage. Mana ligadoriba wari sina The Boy Who Carried Wolf. Aris.
Good morning, my respected principal, teachers, judges, and my dear junior friends. I am Aris Ningthozam from class 9. Today I am going to narrate a story in front of you. The title of my story is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. So let's begin my story. Once upon a time, there lived a boy in a village near a hill. He belongs to a family of shepherds, so he used to take his flock of sheep and goats to the hill near the village. There was a thick forest on the hillside. It was full of wild animals. Along the pit of the hill were several fields where all the farmers worked all the day long. So the shepherd boy did not afraid of the wild animal. One day, he was sitting on a rock, minding his flock. Suddenly, he thought of some mischief. He thought for a while and cried, "Wolf, wolf, save me!" The farmer called out and ran with a stick on their hand to help him. Reaching there, the farmer asked where the wolf was. The boy said, "It has run away hearing the noise." Then the farmer went away. After some days, again the boy cried, "Wolf, wolf, save me!" Then the farmers come with a stick on their hand to help him and asked again where the wolf was. Then the boy again said, "It has run away hearing the noise," but he was laughing in his sleep. Then one of the farmers asked, "Why are you laughing like that?" Then the boy said, "Oh, it was only a joke. There was no wolf indeed." Then the farmers went away grumbling over his conduct, and they decided that never to believe him in future. Then several days passed without any happening. But one day, it so happened a wolf actually came out and attacked the sheep. Then the boy did not know what to do. He cried, "Wolf, wolf, save me! I'm not joking in this time. Help me, please, please help me. There is really a wolf here." But no one listened to his shout. Then the boy attacked the wolf with his staff. But the wolf was too strong for him. Then the wolf fell upon him and killed deer. And then the news spread in the village, and people come to see the boy lying dead. When the farmers told the whole story, everybody said he has been rightly punished for his telling lies. So the moral of the story is once liar, always liar. Thank you.
Sigi ko storytelling competition je koi Aris Ningthozamna aroiba participant su oire ado akhoi matam thengjale aduna koi lotion lakpo oina koi gi respected sir Romeo dai masigi competition ni matang da wai manga tara da sum hongdok pina waina haijari Sir Romeo.
Sir Romeo zing asise magi event ama haitare ko ama lei magi to ke to
ado sir sanai matabi sir sanai ma sum khara sum competition matang sigi storytelling competition matang ko hena to bina share to bina haijari sir sanai.
Thank you, Sir Vishwajit and Miss Nima, respected program host of today's storytelling competition of Bright Foundation School Thawa, and ngasigi program asigi Thawurel oina ubiriba Sir Principal loina na ngasigi competition asida yam thawai yauna satra aikoigi satra satri singbu saruk yahanbiriba amadi program asibu yengbiriba parents sing hanbamaktada kai khumna buchari storytelling competition gi importance akoi adum sagi ngasigi host oibiriba saramadi misna haibigre adum panbigre akoi aina matang sida ngasigi competition gi matang sida satra satri singi performance yengjaraga nungaiba pokse loina na satra singi performance ta rang pena expectation kitang yaurakta bagumba adumba adagi koida kitang khungba watpa adumba matang sidum udabadi natte yam phajana pangthore ngang singi performance yengba nungai haijaba tare presentation angang singna presentation tauba yam phajana tawe aduga pegi kanoge story ma se sagi judges singsina pegi kanoda marking the la kanda aikoina sugda tadriba wari judge singna sugda tadriba wari oibe ya lidaiba wari singse adu tadi judge ta tabada nungaina ba adagi mayam atai wari tariba mayam da taba nungaina ba wari dugi kana si khangna na bai koina kogi sinariba wari libagi kogi vocal haiba tare tone haiba tare magi kogi delivery tawgi madu kogi kitang khare hena sana ningba haiba tare matang madu ma adagi mu kogi wari sigi theme siga chana na ba action khara sudum madu sudum darkar lai hangang sing phasapsana tawi aduga tawdaba ngang sing su yawi sigumba sing si kona katang next time dati ngasi si yaw kiba amadi ngasi yengiba angang sing sina soidana mag kano khangjal heuragani haibase asa tawi aduga wari aigi script se wari haiba tare masi khanba mu sangi kar khena script phajaba wari ma adagi muk wari dubu amuk thawai hap hai tare thawai hap ka dori su li batugi magi hai singba mu sangi masi gi singse akoina phajana thammaga khangaga wari si ligadabani haibase aigi site tagi masi gi su judges ki kanoma su ai phanjai tungjai yam live khabni yam nungaijai program se matung taba program sing da su parents sing thawai yauna yenghanjaningi loina na isa sing thawai yauna saruk yan bada mateng pangbirakani haibagi asa siga loina na kanyam punau ku kurumjari dugai gi keno wapan.
Thank you, Chair. Mathang asidi judges maraktagi Madam Ronibla bu jage Madam Ronibla wahi kharadang thambinaba mixingjari.
Thank you, Ms. Rima. Ahanba maktada ngasigi online da pangtok chariba competition asibu thawai hakchang yauna yengbiriba parents sing satra sing unamakbu ayaki maikai dagi ikai khumna uchari loinana ngasigi competition assistant bada achauba thodang lobiriba school asigi staff namak also aina ikai khumna uchari yam nungai ngasigi storytelling competition asi physically akoina school da mamang chahi sing da pangtok khibaduga karishu khena balaite ko online ojaragashu physical duga chak manana dum pangto e satra sing gi performance yam phajai wari su yam nungai nungai ba mamam tare adu aina haizaning badi satra sing na wari sing se lirak pa matamda matang cha cha na action gumba adagi khonjel gi anem awang gumba hapak pase sizina wari tari ba wari yengi ba akhoi su yam nungai halleba tumina famaga wari du hekta khonjel gi anem awang karim te action am te yaw da bi zara 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 litha gi bodo adu dagi di action khara yauraga adagi khonjel anem awanga hapaga lirak pasina yam hena nungai ko ado wari di loi phajina ligre satra khuding mangna ado competition ina first second third tagidi category amamam dagi di hena khalaroi ko first second third se aduna competition sida aidi participate toraga aidi mayam honagraga aidi khanbi raktre gana smaina negative side ta khalaga mathangi competition da yauroi ga aidi di khangum se ko akoi satra khuding mangna aigi khalak tribase ai karai da shoigi bano mathang dadi kamaina honaraga aise first second third marak sida yaubung ngamgani ga haibado adumaina isagi asuiba jingdo loin thidokse aduga mathangi competition gi da amuk ready laise hojikti online da pangthok panina aigi asoiba dusu thiba yam nungairani haidi hojik YouTube ta live thari ba khoi gi sigi ngasi competition je ase live se loigraga su video do di abdum school gi YouTube account se da yauraga lairani aduna loigraga su noina aigi ngasai gi aina ligi wari do amtang yenge haraga su yarani aduna smile tawdana akhoi isagi asoiba jingdo phajana thidoksi aduga mathangi competition gi damakta same saraga laisi ko ai si haraga loishinjarage
Madam na fazaba wai ngasigi akoi competition matangda ni khungdong pi aduga aroi boina akoi gi respected Sir Joy na wai tarama tarada tawbina haibi na tawbin si sigi competition ni matang da haibi na ba sarani ya tawjani sir.
Thank you Sir Biswajit hama magtada ngasigi storytelling competition na sibu yengbiriba amadi yawiriba aigi nusiraba satrasing parentsing amadi aigi kolipuna mapu amamangda ikai khona puchari ngasigi performance si aduki matik yamna phajai amaga neck to neck competition ni adu punam ahan mamangda congratulations all of you duga nakhoi first second third tudi soidana judges ki matungina soidana hairagani adubu punamak phajabnina akoi punamakta school gi side gi congratulations anahan haijari akhoina senariba virtual gi kuthangda senariba asi physical nasai madam na jo haigre paita ta dena akhoi recitation competition rhymes competition akoi pangthokre adu machine storytelling competition pangthoi sidasu adukki mate class 1 dagina 9 bok pangthokasida dagi apikpa angang singjo class chobaga adum compete tawba ngambagi makhoida capability and potential le si akhoi punna yengminagre aduna akhoi tungdaso akhoi dance ni khangde quiz competitions whatever the activities angang sing ase lai khatang tambadi yade makhoi gi activities mayam sing ase akhoi engage on batabani aduna soyana makki akhoina yari bamakai virtually kudang tawba yaba kudimak activities makhoi gi academic calendar da yawriba kudimak akhoi tawnana ba adum sem saduna leire aduga kariguma physical class tawba yaragadi makhoi gi angang khudimaki magi tongan ba potential loina leijaba ngak tani magi talent loi leijaba ngak tani hariba talent sing ase ekoi school han tau ta ba tep tau ta ba angang kharadi recitation da yamna hai aduga khara amana storytelling da hairam da ba yai khara amana sana bada yamna haiba angang lei hariba sing adu ekoi gi school na makoi gi talent sing adu ekoi tep tau na ba ekoi sonsoi soidana hona duna lai adu hot hona khigani aduga makoina haija singjaba sing adu makoina pamjaba field in the chatnaba sina khwaidagi best option ni akoina khangmina re madudi storytelling competition sina tawribasi akoina yamna confidence leina makoida angang sing sina haiba ngambagi sakti dugi sina mu teaching learning process ta makoigi listening skill adugi makoigi speaking skill haiba mayam sing asi improve tawale aduga kanagumba angang sing sigi storytelling sida fazana hairaba sigi skills e si waragadi makoigi life skill ni haimai tungda makoi kaigumba wangang badani khangde debate ni khangde karigumba space bi badani khangde masina kana ga dori bani hariba singa si ekoina pi ngai dagi tamba haibasi yamna darkar oi aduga regarding the judges ogi sir sanai man khai kre judges na horen pirakwa matamda criteria krada soidna pirakani angang singi language proficiency sisima apai yengakani aduga presentation and delivery skill agi makhoi theme and storyline agi angang singna seto chathorapa makhoi tawriba mawong agi camera thambada camera gi position se makha lega makha da thangare adu di makhoi yengdare adu koi ayeng ba koi di nuaitre sugumba mayam ma yengakani adugi moral value intonation and creativity hariba sugumba criteria kharasida koi soidna judges na birakani na khali adu karigumba angang sing sida first second third tabada makhoi yaudragasu nakoina piriba performance aduki matik first second third tabadagi sungda tadi karigino haiba matamda competition ina soidna first second third dikhalani adu de yaudragasu nakoi ninghanaba tawganu panaba lepa yade sima ai haijage aduga loina na ngasigi pagi storytelling competition asi sinbada pagi saruk yabiriba parents sing ai chhatra sing adugi oja sing punamaku school gi maikai dagi ngampai leitana thagatba phongdoksari aduga YouTube live streaming thabada pagi sir Ramananda adugi ngasi judges oibiba punamaku school gi maikai dagi ngampai leitana thagatchari aduga tungdasu ekoi sugumba activities mayam ama tawbada parents singna icha singi khallaga hona biriba sumaina hona ba sulep lepi ganu aduga angangi phana ba ekoi punamak hona minasi hairaga ai amuka hanna mayam punamaku noluksari. Thank you
sir.